Hi everyone, welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today is the 24th of February 2021, 5 minutes past 5 in the evening in the United Kingdom. Only a couple of minutes late starting today. Had a few issues with X-Pilot there. Thanks a lot to Freckles, although I remember helping me fix that. Back in the ye old faithful ZIBO Mod 737. The latest version, 346.7. Been live for a couple of days, and just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that took part on the live stream on Sunday, the charity stream special. I made a loads of posts about the social media pages to make say a massive thank you to everyone that raised well over £4,000 for gift aid. That was absolutely awesome. We've raised now over nearly £8,000 for charities now, so that's massively awesome. Thank you so much to all of you guys. Yes, not very nice visibility here, as you've just pointed out. Deep space, beautiful weather here. And to John Padfield, yes, right now in Riga, which is where we are currently, in Latvia, it's 450 metres for the RVR. Could just about get airborne with the minimum RVR here, I think. Fog, and yeah, they've got patches of visibility here, less than 450 metres. So yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see if we can get out here based on the minimums as well. It's 3 degrees, we're right on the edge of freezing conditions as well. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to get out of here. I might even simulate some remote de-icing if you guys would like to see that, because that is an opportunity we can
50,
with the
40,
30. Thank you very much,
20,
Pete S
10.
for the £5. Can't wait to hear this one.
Pre-stream checklist, internet confirmed and stable checked. Stapler in position and ready for any unplanned visitors checked. Siri consulted and country of destination airport confirmed checked. Checklist complete.
Pete S, unbelievable. Thank you so much for the £5 donation. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe you just come out with that one. Yes, I had a little bit of a muddle up with my countries earlier, and I couldn't. I accidentally said to Mariana, where are we flying out of later? I was like, yeah, we're going out of Riga, Lithuania. It's like, you sure it's Lithuania? I said, yeah. And I was like, no, it's Latvia, is it? And they had to tell everyone. Oh no, absolutely outrageous. But yes, I know we're in Latvia now, flying from Riga. Going to be going to Bratislava today for the first time in Slovakia. VATSIM event there. Very, very enjoyable. Looking forward to this sector. Just sim scenery here, looks absolutely beautiful. Not that we're going to be seeing much of it today with the visibility less than half a kilometre. Thank you very much to Josh Reynolds, just rejoined as a member, or is perhaps already a member and it's just renewed. I can never remember, you know, what the case is of some people, so thank you very much for Josh Reynolds. If you have come back, welcome back on board, and enjoy your customers in chat, and we'll see you in the Discord. Have I just gone directly over my plane? Yes, I have. That's my colleague. It is our ZIBO Mod 737. Again, massive thank you to Jordan, who's made this beautiful looking livery, the Boeing themed colour scheme with the Alpaca Airways logo at the back. Very, very nice. Flight time just about hour 30 minutes. Only sector planned for today as well. Yeah, but Wednesday night is the Xbox night, so I can't be too late here. But very much looking forward to jumping back in the mod and good practice for me, because yeah, lots of good news with the coronavirus pandemic, isn't it? I mean, looks like in the UK we have a road to get out of there. Hopefully nothing will change with that, and perhaps some flying for myself in the summer. Fingers and toes crossed. I'll ask some questions here as well before we get back into the flight deck here. We have, where is Moen? Moen was, I think, on stand next to me, wasn't he? But he's just come off there. Jacob Hub, are you running real time? No, we're 12 hours behind live time. So right now in the sim, it's 0509 Zulu in the morning, just so we can enjoy some daylight. It's quite nice welcome on board to Gilherm Ucht. He's just joined as a member. Welcome on board. Glad you enjoy the content, buddy. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat as well. And I hope you're doing very well. Hello from EVRA Town. Thank you very much, Lewis. I did see you commented earlier before the stream, so looking forward to ATC from you, sir. So yeah, that's it. 290 viewing here already. Very, very cool here. Moen says, I'm here. Don't know, we sort of might have been expecting to fly today. Right, anyway, let's jump into the cockpit. It's completely cold and dark. I've done absolutely nothing except fire up the sim. So I'm just going to turn the volume down here, and we'll get the show on the road. So let's pop the battery on, GPU's on, bus, electric hydraulic pumps are on. Landing gear lever is down. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 green lights, and then we check all the aircraft documentation, make sure it's all up to date and good to go. Let's check the squibs. 3 green lights. We have the fault test. Fault tape, you detect it in op, and we have master caution overheat detector. Both master caution lights have illuminated. Let's do the fire test. Fire warning, light and bell lights is illuminated, bells going off, and we have engine overheat 1 and 2, 3 fire switches and a wheel well fire as well, because we have AC power, so that is all tested. Pop the emergency exit lights on, push the attend button as well. Here's our operational flight plan. Speaking to the fueler today, the weather is very nice in Bratislava actually. It's only foggy, low visibility here, but in Bratislava there's clear skies. They have forecast after midnight, so it should be clear by the time we get there. 10 degrees, very high pressure, really nice in Bratislava this evening. So if it was a normal flight, I'd probably be taking 6-7. However, with the conditions outside being 3 degrees, oh, it's 2 degrees now, and the visibility as low as it is, there might be a possibility to have to de-ice. Now, there's no freezing rain or freezing fog proclamated on the ATIS, so we'd have a careful walk around. It would be unlikely, unless the aircraft had been sat on the ground for a long time, that we'd need to be de-iced in these conditions, but that's why it's very important to do a thorough walk around and inspection to see the requirements for de-icing. However, for today, because they have remote de-icing, I might just ask ATC on the way out if we could simulate de-icing, so it'd be quite cool. And we have a good say operator. If there's any doubt, if you're not so sure if there is the requirement to get de-iced, always get de-iced if you're not sure. But in these conditions, if it's 2 degrees, the aircraft just landed, it's unlikely you'll need to, but it could be some cold soaked fuel frost or something like that. But I quite like to simulate that requirement today. Perfect. So we're going to take a bit extra, based on the fact we have to do remote de-icing, which will be the first ever time I've done that on a stream, which would be pretty cool. So we'll probably take an extra 300 kilos based on that. Because it's a busy VATSIM event, we'll take an extra 30 minutes as well. So if we take 7-8, which is 4 wings, that's an extra 30 minutes of flight time, down to about probably 25 if we take into account all the time we need to taxi and de-ice. So that'll be great for us. We'll ask for 7.8 tons of fuel. Going to simulate 180 passengers today. 180 passengers all the way to Bratislava. I'll execute that. And takes a while to update, but there it is. 55.5. Should be a bit more than that with 180 passengers. There we are. I think sometimes the ZIBO mod does it in chunks, but there we go. We now have the correct zero fuel weight. I'm expecting 58.3 tons, and we can now order the fuel, and we'll see now. I don't know what is a typical Latvian name, but there he is. He's uplifting the fuel now onto our aircraft. Wonderful. Right. Seatbelt sign will leave off for now because we're still refueling. Flaps are up, matches the flap indicator position. Quick config check. Do the cargo fire test. Forward aft is a light, illuminated discharge light with no detector fault, 2 green lights. So that's all good. 2000 for now. Rudder and aileron trims 3 and 0. Doors closed, circuit breakers are all in. Do the stall warning test. Need to wait a little bit longer for the AC power, at least 4 minutes for that. There's a flight recorder tested, back airspeed warning test. What's this on to VHF1, IRS to nav. 9 minutes at this latitude, circuit breakers are in, and we'll imagine we can start the boarding. There we are, we can hear the passengers getting in there at the back there. Boeing boy, yes, the weather is poor. Yeah, really nice. This is completely live weather. I'm sure if you looked at Riga International camera, you'll be able to see. Oh, I've been disconnected from X-Plane. What in the world? X-Pilot. Disconnected from voice server, waiting for X-Plane connection. Connected. I've reconnected now, I hope. Now that's my fault. Because I disconnected off X-Pilot and now there's a massive A300 on my stand. God damn it. I think that, yeah, he was already here first, so I think what I might do is I might pop off the network and then, I don't know why, I'm having issues with X-Pilot today, it keeps just disconnecting. Don't know why, but yeah, very, very strange. Well, I'll stay off for now. What I might do is do the pushback and then try and log back in. But yeah, look, that guy was already on the stand, but I have no idea why it kicked me off the server. That is so annoying. Anyway, let's carry on with the rest of the setup. I completely got thrown by that now. Well, I can't get the ATIS. What I'll do, I'll log on as observer for now. Okay, my X-Pilot now says, as it did at the start, waiting for X-Plane connection. What is going on with my X-Pilot here? Right, this happened earlier. the start here. I'm having issues with X-Pilot, and I've literally tested it this morning, worked completely fine, went online, and now it's just flowing and wobbly. Alright, now it's connecting again. Let me just try again, guys. Right, let me just... I'm going to grab the ATIS and then I'll go back offline. 120175. So we can pick up some ATIS. Nope, that's not working either. Not having much luck with X-Pilot at the moment. Okay, no ATIS on voice unfortunately, but I'll read it on text. There's Mr. Man. No, he's still there. Right, so ATIS 120.175. I'll read it on text. I really want to get ATC because it'll be far more realistic in these LVPs. But right now it says expect runway 18 news information from Bravo. Surface is wet, braking action good. It's currently LVPs in force, 450 metres RVR, runway 18 touchdown is 500 metres and it is being downgraded. Weather fog is obscuring the runway, vertical visibility of just 200 feet, temperatures 2 degrees, QNH is 1022. So we are in these sort of freezing conditions here. So we'll get the QNH set. And we'll set the MFRA as well, which is 1037. Oh, why is it defaulted to radio? Well, whoever flew this last must have done an autoland. Cool, 037 is set. So, that's all done. We're in freezing conditions, so we need to turn the probe heat on now. Might as well just turn the window heat on whilst we're up here. Cool, so we've got information Bravo. Let's now punch in the routing
Sending service now.
I didn't press that, but fair enough. It always does that. Oh dear. Right, so we've got the latest AirACC installed, I believe. Yeah, and it's active until February 24th, which is today. Midnight today, that'll be getting changed. So, we're in Riga, Echo Victor Romeo Alpha. GPS left. From there we're going to Lima Zulu India Bravo, and our call sign's going to be Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Departure is going to be runway 18, and the SID is going to be a Beryl for Echo. Beryl for Echo, Papa 870. Boxu, and from Boxu Mike 985 to Evina, and from Evina Mike 66 to Babco, Babco direct to Bertha. That's the arrival. So Berber 3 Sierra. I'm not sure if runway 22 is in use. Someone suggested the actual runway in real life is closed right now, but the OFP flight plan is 22. If it's another one, we can just change it on route. So that's all set for now. Perfect. So 0 fuel weight is in 58.2, and the refueling looks like it's done as well. 7.8 tons. We put the seatbelt sign on. Reserves for our alternate is Vienna. I'm going to put 2.4 tons for that. Cost index is 30. Cruising at flight level. That's 360 I filed. Yes, 360. As executed. Top climb wind is 307 at 46. Top climb ISA is -3. Perfect. Average wind is 320 at 25. So we put that at the first waypoint after top of climb. Get some more accurate ETA on the ground. Oops. So that's all set. Now, with the temperature being 2 degrees, And we'll imagine we'll need the aircraft to be de-iced. Now, my operator, we have a minimum thrust requirement if we're being de-iced of 24k now. So we'll set 24k, even though we could happily take 22k with assumed temperature with the length of the runway, but we are going to simulate remote de-icing. So 24k is the minimum thrust setting with no assumed temperature. Flap 5, CG is 5.5, V-speeds I have all different from my PT because I wasn't planning on de-icing in stream, but they're all set. Oh yeah, wet runway as well, so wet speeds. Our set V2 is 147. Perfect. Now, I think, yeah, look, this guy's still here. So what I'm going to do is I'll log off. I don't really want to change stands now because I'm going to have to reload the entire aircraft. And turn the music down. So what I'll do, I'll disconnect. And I'll
Riga International Airport Information Echo.
Yes, I
do
that. It always does that. But I don't know. The ATIS hasn't been working on voice on VATSIM for ages now. Cool. So that's done. Loading's complete. FMS performance is done. So we can now do our panel scan up here. So yaw dampers on. Nav transfer display switches are normal, auto, fuel, bright, dim, bright, and off. That's all set. AP bleed. You probably want this on now because it is only 2 degrees outside. It would be freezing. So that's set. Put that to steady. Flight director's on. 4,000 feet we can expect for the SID stop at altitude. The runway QDM here in Riga is 178 degrees. Oops. Cool. Yeah, so just before I push back, I'll pop back online, and I mean, hopefully he'll have that thing set up and on his way. And then we can get our clearance as well. So order brake to RTO, reset the fuel flow valve, put that to legs. Let's take off for now. Reset fuel flow done, so maybe have on board, and frequencies down here are set for the SID. We're going to want, now if we're taking off in low visibility like this, you want to have the ILS tuned if it's available, because it helps ascertain if you're correctly lined up on the runway. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous. You might be thinking, well, it's well easy to find out if you're lined up on the runway, but in very low visibility you can get the runway edge lights confused with the sense line lights. The spacing's different, but it's important if you have the ILS when you're doing a low visibility takeoff to make sure it's tuned. We'll put Riga on standby, which is 12:05. Both sides as well. 120.5. So yeah, unfortunately the ATIS on text isn't working. So the visibility of the RVR then was visibility touchdown zone 450 meters for the runway. Overall in the ATIS it's 500 meters. Now not everyone knows this, but there are minimum visibility requirements for takeoff at a lot of runways which have an instrument approach available. You'll have a minimum RVR for departure as well, and it's very much based on the lighting. Now Riga's quite unique in the fact that the RVR is actually quite high for takeoff. You can see it's 250 meters. Now at my operator we have approval to take off with the visibility can be as low as 125 meters. Now there's a few things you need to ensure that are in place before you take off with 125 meters RVR. You have to make sure the airport has LVPs in force, it has high intensity centre line lights and runway edge lights. You have to have done the training of the simulators, and you need to at least see 6 lights before you take off, which is equivalent to a 90 meter visual segment. So we have approval for 125, however you can see here, for whatever reason, the lighting, the minimum for takeoff is 250 meters. So even though we have approval to take off at 125, the minimum required is 250. However, the visibility is 500 meters, although the actual visibility of the touchstone is 450, which is more than we need. But it's something to bear in mind. That is, you've got to make sure you have sufficient visibility for departure. So yeah, it is low visibility, and you'll see when we line up you won't see much. But yeah, I mean, incredibly, you have approval to take off 125 meters RVR. Cool, so that APU should be up and running now. And I'm going to disconnect the GPU. Oh no, I don't need to disconnect the GPU because it's on a bridge. It doesn't automatically, does it? So that's done. Are you running X-Plane 11 in Vulcan mode? Yes, I am, computer captain. Yes, I am. I'm just going to try and connect one more time, guys, just to see if this guy's still on stand. I should think he is. He's in an A300, and that takes a long time to set up. Oh, has he? Yeah. There we go. Alright, well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I know I was here first, I disconnected, and then I was offline probably for a couple of minutes, and it was just bad timing. He then went on that stand, and now, yeah, obviously doesn't want to move. But then again, he might be asking, well, why don't you move? Anyway, what I'll do, I'll get the aircraft pushed back, and then what I might do is log back in, get our clearance and taxi at the same time, see how that works. Anyway, let's do some briefings now. So we check the routing, make sure that's all good. We didn't actually check for any discontinuities. But yeah, we'd be discussing the low visibility, carefully briefing the taxi, looking at the requirements for de-icing. Unlikely 2 degrees here, when there's nothing like freezing fog or freezing rain. Temperature's not below 0, or freezing fog for that reason. So it's unlikely we need to be de-iced, but we'll imagine we found some ice on the top of there. We're going to get used to remote de-icing today. So yeah, there's no discontinuities, the whole routing's in. Let's have a little look at the taxi. So in LVPs, there's quite a unique taxi routing that you'd have to take. Here on apron 3, I think we're on stand 304, 306. Can't actually see it on the here. Stand 304. So we're going to push back to face west out via Victor Foxtrot, and then we're going to taxi here onto the de-icing area north for runway 18. So there's a little area here on the de-icing pad. So that's all good. And then the SID says contact Riga approach on 129925 unless otherwise instructed by tower. So usually here you'd make sure that you automatically contact tower, the next frequency by 1500 feet. Tell them the SID, your passing altitude, cleared altitude as well. But it's quite simple. Climb straight ahead until we are, how many miles there? 3.3 miles from the Riga VOR, and then we're going to make a slight right turn inbound to Beryl. Stop altitude's 4,000 feet, so 4,000 feet set on the MCP. So that is all set. Base leg bob, carb heat. No. Now, I wasn't planning on doing any de-icing today, but I thought, you know what, it's 2 degrees. We'd be in freezing conditions anyway, so I need to taxi out with the flaps up. And because on the way there is remote de-icing, we can actually simulate some de-icing procedure. Now, I need to find out, or what I'd be finding out in real life, and what I'm actually looking at now whilst I'm talking to you, is the holdover timetable. And we're going to imagine they've got generic Type 2 fluid here. I just want to double check what the holdover time is in these conditions. It's going to be pretty high because it's not snowing or anything like that. So I'm just going to look at a generic holdover time for a Type 2 fluid. So outside air temperature for us is -3 and above. It's 2 degrees positive. Well, imagine they're using a fluid concentration of 100%, and that gives me a holdover time in freezing fog, even though it's not there. But we'll imagine that's the worst case. That's a holdover time of 55 minutes. So that's worst case, 55 to 1 hour 50. So yeah, no issue with holdover time with this temperature and with the visibility as it is as well. So that's all checked. And you'd find out what the fluid is on a remote de-icing station by, you can either ask the dispatcher and you can ask him, you know, what fluid are they using? They're using this, or in this case, what we're going to do, we're going to taxi out to the remote de-icing. They'd have a unique frequency you tune, and then they'd talk over the radio. They'd tell you, okay, this is the fluid type, and we have a form. Or some airports have a unique form they'll hand over to you, and it's literally like on a litter picker. You'll open the window, because both engines are running here. You'll open the window, they'll pass over the de-icing form, you have to sign it, say which areas you want to have de-iced, you pass it back, then you start the de-icing procedure, and then as soon as that procedure starts, you start the timer for your holdover time, and
40,
then make sure everything's
30,
limits
20,
before you take off
10.
regarding that. Thanks a lot, Kieran Harvey, for the £3.
Far too cold CAPTN shutdown secure Weatherspoons I recommend.
Let's just call it a day, head off to Spoons. Amazing, Kieran. Thank you very much, buddy. Very, very kind donation. Thank you. Sweet. So that's all good. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push back now. Imagine we've got a clearance. I might push back What I'm going to do is do a pushback all the way. Oh, look how foggy it is. Oh, there's like a really low cloud base. We're going to struggle to get back in here if you were flying here. What I might do is quite a long pushback and then just all the way here, and then I might log back in and just get the clearance. Do it that way. So packs are off. AP bleed. Hold on. Let's get the cabin warm first. We're not quite ready yet. Let's get the pushback truck. So yeah, there we are. Conditioned air is coming into the cabin. Pushback is here. I can't even see. How am I to push back in these conditions? Is there a way of zooming in this view? I have no idea. Right, let's... Jeebus. I've never seen this before in X-Plane. I'm trying to... Is that the line? I'm going to guess it's somewhere like this. And we're going to do a long pushback. Right, that might not work.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
I have no idea if we're on the
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Felix would like a power pack. Well, it'll be quite exciting to see where we end up. Turn active sky off. No! No one should be behind a pushing back aircraft anyway. Absolutely see you. Anthony Murphy, don't forget a few natches of flops. We'll set our flops, don't worry. Oh, we won't do it initially because we're in freezing conditions, so we're actually going to do a slightly different checklist for before taxi here. So yeah, well imagine we've told the dispatcher, yeah, can you make sure the de-icing trucks are remote de-icing station, usually an airport like Riga, they're going to be there. When aircraft need to be de-iced and anti-iced, they'll be there waiting.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
In this situation, it might not be the case that you need to do that. Jumper Brad says shift plus and dot/to zoom. Okay. Well, I can't change it now. Let's see what happens. More exciting. Doesn't the ZIBO have de-icing animations? It does simulate bomb. That's what we're going to simulate when we get to the whole point. It's pretty neat. Perfect. So I've got my order of time for generic. So basically you have a table for every single type of de-icing fluid, and then you can check your order over time.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Right, so push back now, so packs can come off, and collision lights on. Parking brake is set, we'll release it now, and transponder is out of. Check's complete.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Off we go. Right, we'll start now, engine number 2. Lewis, are you on VATSIM? There's someone on my stand. I had problems. Lewis, I might try and reconnect in a second and grab a clearance. And taxi if you don't mind. N2, N1. Pressure, but yeah, I don't know, it keeps disconnecting from my... I hate it. Oh, yeah, definitely push back in the wrong place there. Dear. Yeah, nothing to see. So yeah, unfortunately, I've had an issue with it. It kicked me off, and then it won't sync. It has now resynced, and now someone's on my stand. And I was like, oh, I really can't be asked to change stand now. Right, start account, monitoring engine number 2. 2 is stable. Right, start now, engine number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Z2. Oil pressure and M1. disconnect. So yeah, actually what I'll do, I'll taxi to the de-icing stand. We'll simulate the remote stand de-icing. Whilst that's going on, I'll log back onto VATSIM, get my clearance and request taxi. That might work. Right, start account watching engine number 1 and 2463.
So is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Perfect. Generator's on AP off, and I'm going to put the packs in auto now and the isolation valve in auto and AP bleed off. Just get some conditioned air into the cabin because it's freezing cold. It's the pushback driver's fault. Absolutely, CBC guy. So we're going to do a slightly different flow as we're in freezing conditions. Pushback driver is seen, and we've got the bypass pin as well. So it's the same flow essentially, but based on certain parameters outside we do different things. So this is the same, generators on, APU's off, start switch is continuous, engine anti-ice is on. Now if we're going to be protected by a type 2 de-icing fluid, there's no need to turn the wing anti-ice on at this stage because you're going to get the de-iced on a remote stand. There are certain fluids where we'd still use wing anti-ice, but with type 2 fluid we don't use wing anti-ice. Well, imagine there is a little bit of ice on the leading edge of the wing and the tops of cold soak fuel frost, which in these conditions we have to have removed anyway. So that's done. That's set as well. Now the flaps we're going to leave up because we're going to taxi out with the flaps up and have the aircraft de-iced with the flaps up as well. So we leave that as it is. Flight controls we can check now. Again, you delay this if there's a large amount of snow on top of the wing until after the aircraft has been de-iced. That's done, and we'll check the rudder. Full right and full left. Recall, we then blank the lower DU, and then we do the before taxi checklist. Craig Stevens, thank you very much for your membership. Welcome on board, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy using your custom emojis and chat, and great time to join. About to taxi out, and yeah, for the first ever time, we do some remote de-icing, which is pretty cool. And Jasper Nielsen, welcome on board as well. Thank you very much. I'll repeat. I'll only just end up repeating what I just said, but thank you very much for your membership too, and you'll get invited to our members only Discord as well. Enjoy those custom modes and chat too. So yeah, we're taxiing out now with the flaps up. So what we do at my operator, we have a winter operations checklist. The first officer attaches that to or clips it to the control column to remind us that the aircraft's not configured for takeoff. That's really important to remember that. And then we're going to start taxiing out now. So we'll put the turn off and taxi lights on. Release parking brake. There's no point doing a config check because watch what happens when you do it. It's going to do that because the flaps are up. So we actually delay the config check until we get to the whole point. So what we're going to do is taxi out via we're on Victor, right on Foxtrot, and then we're going to taxi to the de-icing area north here. There's quite a large de-icing pad here at Riga. GBC. You leave the flaps up because you don't want the snow or ice inside the wing. Yeah, sort of. All those linkages, it'd have snow forming in it or freezing rain, it could be icing up in there. So you want to leave those retracted as well. And also, if you have it extended, if the aircraft is then de-iced subsequently, a lot of that de-ice is going to run off the wing. So you want to leave them up until the aircraft has been de-iced. We only configure the flaps of operator in freezing conditions at the whole point. Even in conditions like this, even though there's no falling precipitation, but we are in freezing conditions because the visibility is quite low and the temperature is 3 degrees. It's 3 degrees or less. We treat it as freezing conditions regardless of the fact there's no falling precipitation. So it's very unlikely, but you know, aviation, we don't want to take any risks. And again, we delay the before takeoff checklist until we are fully ready to go, because there's no point completing the checklist because the flaps are up. The aircraft configuration might have to be changed for de-icing, which is what we're going to be doing next. So my operator, we have another checklist as well for de-icing. I'll be following that, if I can get the thing open. I'm going to be following that during the whole de-icing procedure. So you will be seeing me configure the aircraft exactly as we would be if we were remote de-icing in real life. less in Riga. 3 is quite mild, to be fair, for this time of year, but it can be really, really cold in Latvia. Right, what we're going to do is take the next right here, and this is off the taxiway into the kind of de-icing pad. And you'd see the crew waiting, they'd be in the de-icing trucks. This scenery is really nice from Just Sim. Everything's as it should be. Yeah, we'll bring it to a stop here. There we are. Cool. So parking brake is set. So at this stage here, we tell Tower, in LVPs especially, they might want us to record us when we're on the de-icing pad. Make sure they can. They know where we are unless if they don't have surface radar, and the de-icing company or facility would usually have a discrete unique frequency you tune up on box 2. So we tune up on box 2 and then you start talking to it. So yeah, okay, hi, I'm here, and you've got the form filled out. Maybe the dispatch has already given you the form. He can confirm the fluid you want, the quantity, whereabouts you want to be de-iced here. So imagine we've done that. We're taking this generic type 2. We've checked the holdover time. In these conditions, it's 55 minutes to an hour and 50. So it's not going to be an issue. But we have to get rid of the icing anyway. So it's going to. Well, imagine it's what we call a one-step procedure. It de-ices and provides this limited amount of protection in these conditions as well. So de-icing with the engines running. This checklist is very important to get sure the configuration is correct here, because you don't want to ingest any of this de-icing fluid through the engine and then start delivering it into the cabin. It's going to smell horrible. So what we do, verify the parking brake is set. We make sure the APU is off unless it was needed for some other operational reasons. It's not mandatory to have it off, but you want it off if you can. Verify flaps are up. The flaps are up. Thrust levers are idle. Thrust levers are idle. We then turn the air conditioning packs to auto, which they are. They're currently in auto. Engine bleeds are off. Engine bleeds are off, and you can hear the cabin or the cockpit here getting quieter. APU bleed off, and then stab trim verify is set for departure. So look at that. I missed that on the checklist. That's it's quite important to do your checks. Look, that's why you always do checklists before you get going. And that's it. We can now start the de-icing period. So we say, yeah, we're now ready for de-icing. And yeah, ZIBO MOD's pretty neat in this situation. We have a de-icing animation. There we are. So there you go. He's got the frequency you can tune as well, 13035. So that's how we'll be talking to him. And you just have to wait. Just be patient. Try and log back into VATSIM here. Oh, listen to me, I'm a bit silent. Is that because I'm out? I'm shouting outside. There you go. Oh, thank you, Lewis. That's very kind of you. Barrow says, repeat, why engine bleed or off or small of fluid in cabin? Yeah, exactly, Bartos. So, yeah, we don't want to ingest. You imagine this fluid spraying everywhere. That goes into the engine. The APU bleed's going to distribute that around the cabin, and it's been known to cause several fume events. So, yeah, we want to make sure the engine bleed is off in that situation. Jason, are icing effects modelled? I think there is an icing model in X-Plane 11. I don't know whether completing this actually simulates removing ice or not. I'm not sure. But it looks pretty cool anyway. He only does the wings. He's going to be very cold. He needs a hat on. Tao, what do you base your departure minima on? Where do you get that information from? It's from the aerodrome chart, usually 10. The main one, the main aerodrome chart there. There you are, 250 metres today with runway. I haven't seen the term RL. My charts, operating charts say edge lighting and centerline lighting, so I guess that's to do with edge lighting. Very cool though. Matthias, is it necessary to turn wing lights on when de-icing? No. Smell that time too. Cool, jump back into here. Dabney, will this simulate a blade coming off of the engine and then the subsequent metallurgical testing animation? No, Dabney, unfortunately not. It'd be very cool if that was simulated. You can simulate an engine failure, but not a blade detachment with all the associated graphics. So that would be pretty tricky. There we are. So, John, damn it, says no ice left for my G&T. Wonderbar. Right, so now that the icing is complete, what I should have done is at the start of the procedure, which is about 3 minutes ago, make a note of the time. And then, as we said, we checked the holdover time. It was 55 minutes, worst case, in these kind of conditions where it's 3 degrees with freezing fog, which we don't even have, but we'd take that as the worst case there. So what we do, once the de-icing is complete, we have to wait at least 1 minute after the treatment's been completed. But at this point now, he would have opened the window, he'd have given me the checklist, the de-icing form, signed it, completed it, saying he's de-iced these parts as well. And then we take this and I click that to the control column until we're ready for departure, essentially. So that's all done. We'll imagine we've waited a minute now. We'll pop the engine bleeds on. APU bleed is off. Sorry, air conditioning packs are in auto. And flight controls, you would check if you've not done so already. We've already checked the flight controls, so that's done. And then we have 2 options. If freezing conditions still exist, we'd leave the flaps up, which they do. We are still in freezing conditions, but if we were not expecting it, we could extend the flaps at this point, and taxi out with the aircraft configured. But because we're still in freezing conditions, we need to taxi the whole point with the flaps up, and then when we get to the whole point, we set the parking brake, and then configure the aircraft and run the before takeoff checklist there. That's what we do. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I don't think I've missed anything. Remember, this is a multi-crew aircraft here. This checklist is read very slowly by the first officer and then configured by the captain. You then very carefully make sure everything's done correctly as well. Doing this single pilot while streaming is a little bit more tricky, but I think we've covered everything here. Key thing here is to remember your flaps are still not up, but if it was above 3 degrees, we'd be no longer in freezing conditions, we could configure the flaps, but we're going to wait until we get to the whole point here. Cool, so I might try my luck here with ground, 118.8, let's see if I can get my clearance and taxi. I feel really guilty jumping the queue here, but it saves time from having to change stand.
Alpaca 9 Charlie, you ready to taxi yet or no?
Alpaca 9 Charlie, give us 2 minutes, we're just disconnecting.
Oh, absolutely. Take your time. I need to go smoke a cigarette. You guys are stressing me out.
Oh dear. That was brilliant. Riga ground, hello, it's Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Currently on the de-icing ramp north, and we should complete the de-icing. Request departure clearance and taxi to hold point runway 18, please. Oh, wow, did you hear that? Unbelievable. What was that all about? Someone's just messing around on frequency. Unbelievable. Ground, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. They're not going to end up on VATSIM for much longer if they keep doing that.
Alpaca who?
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra on the de-icing area north. Request departure clearance and taxi.
North show 265 for Tower 118.1.
Tower 118.1, low energy tonight, man. Bye-bye.
I'm trying, like I said. I didn't expect this. 5 Tango Sierra, go.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, request departure clearance to Bratislava, please. What the hell is going on?
1 Alpha Victor behind Norwegian, call Tower 118.1 for full length. Behind the Norwegian, call Tower 118, 1 Alpaca 106.
Oh wow, look, I don't want to even... I think I heard that, but yeah, what's that, you know, what is going on there? That I can't be asked. Like, if people are just going to mess around like that, we'll just carry on offline, simple as that. Right. Unbelievable, sorry guys. I don't think that was the controller. I'm just going to disconnect it. I think there's someone. I've just got a really ridiculous message of someone. So I think I'm just getting issues. Let's just go offline. Sorry, guys. So taxi out with the flaps up. Some people have nothing else to do, nothing better to do. Whatever. Right. So we can't do anything until we're at the whole point. And we'll do then the before takeoff checklist. It's also very important when you're taxiing in these conditions, be really vigilant in the taxi, because you want to make sure left and right everything's completely clear of you. So it is worthwhile perhaps taxiing at a slower pace, and then you'll make sure everything's completely clear left and right. There we are. So again, LVP's in force. You want to double check, make sure there's no Cat 2 or Cat 3 holding point, which I did actually have a good look around for. I don't think there is in Riga. I think they have just the hold points for Cat 1, but yeah, be very, very careful. Usually they have a red stop by it, which is easily eliminated. Cool, let's do the freezing conditions checklist before departure here. So we need to make sure you're at the hold point. And there's no delay expected for departure. We can now configure flap 5. And just have to wait for that to happen. Yeah, I don't think that was the ground controller, guys. I don't think that was the ground controller. I think someone was on frequency doing something or other. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't really care. I mean, it's happened before. If that happens, just log off. At this point, we release the parking brake. Hold the brakes with your feet. Do a config check. There we are. Make sure the aircraft takeoff config warning doesn't sound. We then set the parking brake, and now we complete the before takeoff checklist. You again verify is the holdover time still valid. Yeah, we're still well within the time for departure, so we're all good to go. And then we can complete the before takeoff checklist. So config we checked. Flaps we have 5 green light. Stab trim set for departure. That is 5.5 units set, and we then do the takeoff briefing. So. Pax auto bleeds on, engine anti-ice only on, don't need wing anti-ice because that's being protected by the Type 2 fluid. And we have wet speed set in the FMC, 31, 39, 47 set the departure. We're going to be flying is a barrel for Echo, straight ahead 3.1 or 3.3. 3.3, and then we're going to make a right turn inbound to Beryl, which is tuned in the FMC. Stop altitude's 4,000 feet. Remember, we would have got our clearance from ATC, although we had to log offline for reasons. So that's set, and it's going to be an NADP 2 departure. And that's it, check's complete, and we'll imagine we got takeoff clearance, release parking brake, and surface wind here, I think it's 9 knots down the runway, so we're good to go. Sweet. These conditions, horrible, horrible. So again, you double check the RVR, make sure it's over 250 meters. In this case today, minimum RVR required is 250. And then we'll carry on from there. Sweet. Well, you know what to do, guys. Toga's in check. One more thing we have to do, though. Don't forget freezing conditions. We need to do our engine fan blade run-up. 30 seconds. Sweet. Right. So don't set the parking brake. So this is what we're going to do. 40%. Oh, hold on. I'm completely losing the plot here. Yeah, I was looking at chat, Lewis. I just saw your comment. That completely threw me off there. Yeah, I'll message afterwards. I don't know what happened. I think you all heard what we heard. So yeah, I can only apologise. But I mean, idiots. Right. Anyway, so MCP. We better actually make sure we do the checklist here. God, it's really throwing me. These are distractions. You don't have to worry about it in real life. I can tell you that. Right. So MCP is set, transponder is TARA, strobe lights are on, and we imagine we've got our takeoff clearance, lights are on. There we are. Right, all good. Time ready to go for departure. So release parking brake, hold it on the brakes, hold the engines at 40% N1. Mass all stabilised, looking good. We'll advance the thrust up to 70%. And at this stage we're looking for any unusual readings, vibration. This is to remove any potential fan blade icing, which can form on the engine fan at low RPMs. This sheds it, gets rid of all of this as well. So yeah, we should have started the timer, so bear with me. We'll imagine that's 15 seconds. We'll imagine when it gets to another 15 seconds, we'll release the parking brake, push toga and set takeoff thrust. Right, there's 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Release the brakes, timer, set takeoff thrust. Over 91.7. There we are. Takeoff thrust sets. Indications law.
80 knots.
Checked. Release the forward pressure. Hand off the thrust lever.
Rotate.
There we are. 2 to 2.5 degrees per second. Now we're in.
Positive rate.
Gears coming up. LNAV's engaged at 50 feet. And onto the flight directives.
400.
LNAV. Straight into IMC. So concentrating on the PFD.
$1,000.
There we are. We can engage command. Verify command. The PFD. Choose the Riga VOR. Flaps on. And there's a flap 1 bug. We can now select flaps up. Flaps are up, no lights, we're above 3,000 feet. We select VNAV and we're still climbing to 4,000 feet initially. That would be the sit stop altitude. We'll imagine now we've got continuous climb to flight level 360. So that's set. And we'll set standard. Passing 3-4 flight level 360 after taking the check. So gears off, water brakes off, engine anti-ice is off, start switch is off, and tax light is off. Air conditioning pressurization 1.8. That's climbing. And set. This crew. And standard set passing 4-4 flight level 360. Now stepping after takeoff. Checklist is complete. RPMPS. We're on our way. Sweet. Well, that was a shame about VATSIM, but hey ho, we'll just carry on our flying. Very interesting. I can't believe that. I can't believe what I heard. Wow. Some people have unbelievable amount of time on their hands to disrupt in that sort of way as well. But I know VATSIM take that really seriously. It happened before, and they actually got back someone's IP address, and then they actually contacted the authorities over it. And I think that got quite serious. I hearing about that. So yeah, if you end up doing something like that, yeah, you're really stupid. Clock, yes, remember the clock, just about. Just about. My simple sim then. Oops, I forgot to turn the weather radar on. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, passing 102 for flight level 360. Do the pre-cruise checks now. So, fuel we have 4 pumps on, 6.9, lights will pop off now. AP's on, pressurization is 4.0, standard set. Needs signals, and there we are, checks complete. Landbound, you inspired me to try the ZIBO mod. I've been learning the basics with the Airbus so far. Toeless and ini builds and a few rides at the TBM 900 and the CJ4 working tunnel. Very good, Landbound. They're all great aircraft. A ZIBO mod included in that list as well. So yes, have fun learning that. This beast is one of the best 737s in the desktop sim. Gabstra, what's your current FPS over class clouds? Always make me lag a lot. 35, running everything here in the background. There's no Unicorn here. Alright, I'll pop back on, but I'll tell you guys, anything, we're straight off again. We're straight off again. But yeah, we'll forget it. Alright, cool. What is the ETA? 7:45. So yeah, this, remember running the sim 6 hours behind live time at the moment. Actual the ETA up here is going to be quite reasonably accurate at this stage of the flight, because it is as the crow flies. This is going to be the time. So yeah, 19:27 with no delay. I've just logged back on and look at someone directly behind me. Oops, sorry. How close behind? Yeah, as in, that's a bit of a confliction issue perhaps. It's fine, hopefully he's not cruising us from the 36,000 feet. So yeah, I'm glad we had the opportunity there to go through some Winthrop's de-icing procedures as well. It would have been great to have been able to stay online. And just before takeoff, I was still reading the comment section, and I read the one because the guy in the tower, the Riga tower, Lewis, he's been a subscriber to the channel for years.
50,
so I was really hoping
40,
to have
30,
come online to
20,
have actually
10.
kind of incorporated the ATC with that. Thank you very much. Oh, QA pilot.
Thank you for your service to the community, Captain.
Oh my days! Oh, QA pilot, very much no introduction needed for this individual. You're always coming in with these ridiculously generous donations, man. That's so kind. Thank you very much. Guys, QA pilot, I'm sure you're well aware, is one of the well-known flight sim tutorial making, tweaking experts. Many of the tutorials I've followed to kind of practice and set up the sim in the background there, so that's very generous. Again, QA pilot, thank you so much, and I hope you're doing very well. I hope you enjoyed the departure, albeit not with the issues we're having with one particular troubled individual online, but I hope you really enjoyed or learned something with the de-icing setup. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Alpaca 5, Tango Sierra, Unicorn, Alpaca 2 for November Victor.
Someone calling me. Yeah, can't have a chat with me, mate. I don't know who that was. Cool.
50.
That's, yeah,
40,
great, pilot. Thank you so much.
30,
I'm really,
20,
very, very
10.
kind. I'll drop you a DM afterwards. I spoke to you well.
Any idea where I should fly from Tromsø? Oh, and before I forget, great stream like always, Captain.
Thank you very much, Jonas, for the €5. Glad you're enjoying the stream there at Tromsø. So you want to go north, go try out Svalbard, Jonas, let's place. However, you'll have to get the scenery from, I think it's, I can't remember who the scenery provider is, but you might want to go grab that. But yeah, that's probably a good way to go. Or fly along the coast of Scandinavia there, and go try Haugesund. Those are cool places there. Very cool, thank you. 0 point, you enjoy the streams and taught me a lot, thank you for that. Q8 Pilot, always enjoy your streams, guys. Thank you. Q8 Pilot, you a member? I had no idea you were a member of the channel. Amazing. You come into Discord at some point. Very cool. Oh, Petrich, I think he's trying to coordinate with you so they can crash into one another, fair enough. Yeah, that might be a good idea, actually. Where's he gone? He's directly below us, I think. Let me try and find out his call sign, just find out what level he's at. Oh yeah, I think he's just trying to coordinate. Oh yeah, he's just actually messaged me. I'm behind you, just below, want to coordinate our distance. Currently I'm at flight level 3150 Mach decimal 76. Oh, that's really kind for him to message and try and coordinate something here. I'm cruising at flight level. I might be able to go up to 380 actually. Yeah, we'll go up to 38. And then he can probably take 36. We're quite light. Well, we're not that light, but it's quite a short sector, so we don't have much fuel. So flight level 380 set once. There's no ATC here, so I'm going to set 380 here twice and 3 times and 21.5. So yeah, that was very nice of Leo to message. He can fly any air level he wishes. It'd be quite cool if he overtakes me. So I'm cruising flight level 380 and we'll be at decimal 77. I said feel free to fly faster, it's ATC's job to separate us. Sweet. Udon Plays, you're my 300th like, thank you so much. Yeah, 600 watching, 306 likes, a poor ratio. But thank you very much, Udon Plays. Yes, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoying the video. Mickey Moo, in real life, do you notice any quirks between 738 airframes, or do they pretty much all perform exactly the same? Or is there a particular airframe you dislike flying? It's a good question, Mickey Moo. I've flown a 700. Feels very similar. Can't really tell the difference. But what you said actually about particular airframes, what's quite funny, Mickey Moo, is if you fly a brand new aircraft, they're not. I think the best way to describe it is they're not bedded in. So when everything's quite stiff. The control column, the roll, the pitch, it does feel stiff. The doors. It all needs to be sort of bedded in, so I actually prefer kind of hand flying the older ones. Also, new aircraft tend to, not always, but tend to have small little gremlins, little electrical issues. I remember flying a brand new aircraft about just before I became a captain. It's one of my last flights as an FO. It was brand new. It was literally out of the factory 2 weeks before, and we had a CDS mate issue in flight. We lost. I think we had an issue with one of the. It was a DU, I can't remember, we had to configure one of the panels. We landed and we had a CDS fault. It was brand new, this aircraft, and I remember years ago also flying on a newish one, and we had some issues as well. But it's they're very small, like small issues that indeed seem to need to be bedded in sometimes. Thank you very much to Ryan Videos 94 has just joined as a member. Glad you joined the content buddy. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chats, and take care of yourself. Thank you very, very much. Cole Griffin, hello from Manchester. Hello. Fedora, you're watching from school. Now, you know what you should be doing. Daphne, how many hob hours in the ZIBO will I need to be competent? Put it this way. Nearly 5,000 hours on type, and probably a few thousand hours flying the ZIBO mod. I'm still learning stuff. Still. Listen, I moved the mic a little bit closer now so you can hear me clearer.
20, 10.
I'm sensing you'll need an after stream client later. I would if I were you. Anyhow, if you do need one, it's on me.
Oh,
cheers.
That's very, very kind. Thank you very much, Tal, for your donation there. Yeah, maybe a little drink after that wouldn't go amiss. Oh dear, it was just annoying. I mean, I've had issues on the past. The network, VATSIM are now far better at dealing issues. I've not had behaviour like that. I think you all heard what we heard. I'm debating whether to keep this video online later. Based on that, I might
50,
deal with it as well
40,
in a different way. But
30,
I know this has
20,
happened before to someone else,
10.
and VATSIM took it very seriously. That was the point of actually getting external force.
Hi Captain, congrats on reaching 70k subs.
Thanks, Anthony.
There should be more zeros behind that 7. Great charity too.
Thank you.
Just finished 2 sectors EID WEGPHEICK. Any chance of a job? Thanks for all the help learning the ZIBO mod. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Anthony, for the €30. It's very, very kind. And yeah, I can't believe how well that charity stream went as well. Thank you, as I said at the start, to everyone that donated during that one. We raised such a fantastic amount for the Dogs Trust as well. And you went from Dublin to Edinburgh to... is that Cork or Knock? I can't remember, but it sounds like you had some fun. Any chance of a job? Alpaca Airways always recruiting. Thank you very much, buddy, and very much appreciate that generous donation. Thank you. 2 tons of love. It's Xbox Live. Who knows what drinks and concoctions Flight Edison we partaking in? Oh well, just a little smidgen or something won't go amiss. Tobias, plus 114 feet per minute for the landing required to get the butter average. I can't believe that's the butter average. That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
50, 40, 30.
Oh my goodness,
20,
guys, thank you.
10.
Firstly to Gilliam, who just joined as a member and donated $10. Thank you very much. That's very, very
50,
kind.
40,
thank you for the donation and your
30,
membership. Welcome aboard,
20,
buddy.
10.
Thanks a lot, Alex Crawford, for the $10. Very kind, thank you.
Thanks for getting me through my shift at work, so here's a cut of my pay.
Oh, Alex.
Have you checked out the 737 MAX jets from the MAX design team? They're pretty neat and you should give it a try.
Well, thanks for your donation, Alex. Now, that's very, very kind. You know, you worked hard, so it's very kind to give you a bit of your pay. Now, the only MAX I'm aware of, Alex, is some dodgy version of the MAX where it uses copyrighted material. So if that's the one, unless there's another one I don't know of, I haven't tried it. And I'd also, if you have tried that one, is it something to do with Walter White one? I don't know much about it, but I only work directly with ZIBO, not the Level Up team, not of any other version of the ZIBO mod. I just in ZIBO's private Discord myself and about 2 or 3 other pilots providing some feedback there. But if someone makes a legitimate MAX at some point, we'll no doubt fly it. But unfortunately, I won't be using the one you've just mentioned. But may I also recommend that you perhaps stop using that? But, I don't like to get involved with these things on the side, but there's a bit of a dodgy one out there. Anyway, thank you very much for your donation. People, such a good idea for a live stream. Thank you to people, but I mean, this format is a very common format, flying from A to B on an aircraft. But I hope you enjoy it regardless. Sweet. Oh, thanks for your message. Oh, I just got... Just got a lovely message from Lewis with regards to what happened, and it's being dealt with, which is great. So thanks for that, Lewis. That's great, but yeah, really. And yeah, I'll tell you now, guys, if you end up, I know we have some younger guys here always looking perhaps for an opportunity to do things. If you end up doing behaviour like that online on VATSIM, they take it really seriously. And I'm not talking about being kicked off the network. I'm talking about they will escalate that with local authorities if you've been found to be using language like that. Really think about doing something like that online. Seriously, it's not. It's just not worth it. You really need to have a long, hard look in the mirror and see what's going on there. But yeah, Dan, I see what you're asking in chat. We'll have a chat about it in Discord later to any of the members there. Is that a genuine ZIBO? Dynasty001, I hope you're doing well. You're always popping in the streams these days. Hi, Captain. Are you going to be behind a Mac soon since Yasa has now ungrounded them? Yes, there is a potential that my operator will be getting Axis. Did I say that? Maxes in the future. And yeah, I mean, it's been flying now in the US, and I'll confidently tell you now, guys, that obviously there were some issues with this aircraft. We all know what MCAS did, and there was a lot to be learned. Boeing, I think, have had, you know, they've been really, Boeing and the FAA have had to really review their procedures and stuff, and now the MAX is flying around, and everyone's going to be checked beforehand. I'm confident to fly this aircraft. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to potentially flying this aircraft as well. So yeah, hopefully by the end of the year I'll have flown one. We'll see. But yeah, I've watched some videos on YouTube of guys, you know, past you. I think is it United are flying quite a few of them now. Very cool. Jim Vasta, can you pap out the NDs on the ZIBO mod? No, you can't. Does the ZIBO mod necessarily need it? I do like, to be fair, sometimes the ability to pop out the ND. What's really useful if you're flying the mod here is if you go to plan and you're stepping through the routing, and it's not too bad in the ZIBO mod because you can kind of position the screen so you can manipulate and step and check your points, so it's not so bad. But there are some aircraft where it is quite useful to have the pop-out screen, but they don't pop out here. Does the ZIBO mod need it? Not really. With the way the 737's configured, it's okay. Gary, how do we join the Discord? My Discord is exclusively for members of the channel only, for two reasons. One, you know, I'm only going to get people in the Discord who are enjoying my content as well, and I'd like to think that my Discord, the guys get a good experience as well. So some of the things we do is the monthly members group flight. I'm very active at the moment with the amount of time off there, so you'll see me in VC. You can chat to me if you wish, ask questions. Everyone's very, very nice there, very respectable with regards to my employment as well, which I always really appreciate. But yeah, if you ever feel free to join as a member. And Mariana, my partner, is very much involved. She's playing games with these girls more than I am. It's amazing. Sweet, thank you. Was that you, Lewis? Just joined as a member. Lewis, you didn't have to do that. I don't know if that's if you want to get in contact with me, but don't feel like you had to join as a member to have a chat. But yeah, thank you very much for your membership there, Lewis. That's very, very kind. And yeah, I mean, if it's just to chat to me, that's fine. But I hope you can stay for a little bit longer. I did get your message on VATSIM as well about what happened there. So thank you very much, buddy. Ah yes, of course, Sim737 Pilot. Yeah, totally worth it. He says other real world pilots are part of Discord as well. So yeah, we've got Cookie, 737 Cookie, who's a member and a moderator of the channel, who helps me answer many questions. One of my best mates from school, who's a 787 first officer, helps answer lots of questions as well. They do this all for free. They're free time, and I'm ever so grateful for these guys. Lewis said, no, I wanted to say thanks for flying out. That's very kind. Danny, can you explain how much fire extinguisher, how much is in the fire extinguisher bottle in the 737-800? The quantity isn't in the FCOM, but I do have a manual which would tell you. Or are you asking how much the actual cost of it? Very expensive, I think. I have no idea. Usually, sometimes we ship parts around the network. So, for example, if we're flying to an airport, some airports are maintenance bases for the airline, so perhaps the part gets delivered and we need to drop it off at another airport, and we sometimes carry the parts, and we have like a dispatch notice or a loading document which explains what the item is, and if it's an item for the aircraft, they'll sometimes give you the monetary value as well. And sometimes you can be carrying something like, I remember, I think it was an EFIS control panel. We were carrying one of these boxes to another airport, and the cost was something like $50,000. It's just absurd, the cost of some of these things. We had an EEC once as well, that was, I think, was over $1 million. I can't remember, but yeah, I don't know how much a bottle is. I can find out the quantity for you, because I have a really good iPad app I'd recommend if you want to get into detailed kind of background knowledge with the 737. It's called the 737 Cockpit Companion. It's about £40. It's unofficial, but it goes way beyond what the FCOM does in explaining the kind of technical aspects of the aircraft. I'm sure this would tell me what the quantity of the bottle is. I might look at it at another point, because I don't like using the iPad because it has all the streaming software on. Echo Rush, is there a way to switch from map to plan mode when the ND is on the MFD? Is there a way to switch from map to plan mode when the ND is on the MFD? What do you mean by that? Is it only like this? Not sure. I don't get your question quite there, Kurosh. It's quite pricey, yes. RSW, you feel confident flying the MAX after Boeing made all the changes? Yes. It's been looked in Europe. The EASA have given it a thorough review. We're going to get much more in-depth training. We'll have specific presentations to do. We'll also need to do a simulator session now, which wasn't required before. They've updated the checklists as well to deal with those particular situations. So yeah. Tim, you have the book. Fantastic. Yeah, I have the book as well, funny enough, but they have an iPad app now, and the great thing is they actually keep it updated, which is pretty good. So you find every 2 or 3 weeks as changes are made, subtle to checklists and stuff. I mean, I don't read any of the QRH checklists or things like that, but it's quite useful for, yeah, the technology is very in-depth, way beyond any of the kind of FCOM 2 knowledge we get. Oh, you mean selecting ND on the lower DU? Oh, okay. So yeah, it should still work. You should be able to select that, and there you go. Changes the modes to whatever you need to do. Right, we've got some ATC, ladies and gentlemen.
Zero 32, runway 25 please to land, and 5 to Julian Tango. Skyway 440, Warsaw radar. Descent flight level 110.
Perfect.
Cover 28 miles, good evening, Warsaw radar identified level 38.
So we're just flying. I haven't got the airports on here. Just flying right over the top of Lithuania. I've got a Gintaris. Was it Gintaris? I don't know if you're here. I don't know if you. Was it you saying in Discord you want me to fly to Lithuania? I think it's one of the few countries we've not flown into. In fact, this is the first ever time we've flown to Slovakia on a stream.
Good evening, Warsaw radar identified level 360.
Also, good evening, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, maintaining flight level 380 to Titov.
Alpha 5 Tango Sierra, good evening. Squawk 4571.
Squawk 4571, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Yeah, the only one probably with no squawk. Perfect, that's set. Lewis, how do you get to your Discord link? Excellent question. If you've joined.
Alpha 5 Tango Sierra, identified level 360.
He said 360, but 38, but never mind. I'd definitely prefer that ATC. But I'll get to your point there, Lewis. How do I get the Discord link? Yes, if you just joined as a member, the Discord, guys, is purely linked to your membership on YouTube. So what you need to do, if you go to Google, type in Discord YouTube synchronization or Discord YouTube sync, follow the steps on the first link, and that will get you straight into the Discord. Now, it used to be that you could only get into the Discord using these steps if you were in Discord on your desktop browser version, so Google Chrome or Firefox. It never used to work with the desktop app or the mobile app. However, I've just been advised, last time I mentioned this, quite a few members said actually it does work on the desktop app, but if you're a member having any problems joining Discord, feel free to contact me via social media or email, and we'll get you all linked in and sorted. Steve, mate, have you done any flights in Brazil? Yes, we've done one flight. We did Rio to Sao Paulo, I think, but we went from the Santos Dumont, the really small, the short runway in Rio. I am watching you, 75, thanks. What is the CWS option on the autopilot panel, and do you ever use it in real life? CWS is control wheel steering. I have never used control wheel steering in my entire career flying the 737. It is a mode which essentially means you fly the autopilot through the control column. One situation which we'd possibly use it is in severe turbulence, where you just want to maintain an attitude thrust setting and just ride it out. That's the only kind of line situation I could ever think we'd ever use it. I've never actually experienced proper severe turbulence, so I've never had the need to use it. But if you select it, you'll see you get flight director, control wheels doing roll and pitch. And now if I make an input, if I just pitch up slightly, it'll just hold that attitude and then just start differing from here. It basically turns the 737 into an Airbus. So if it's not following the flight directors here, remember. If I just hold the attitude, it'll just keep it there. And it's like the autopilot just maintains it for you. Yeah. AK Airbus mode, exactly, deep space. Very impressed, Tim. You remember we went into Rio. If you always want to find out where we streamed into before, check out the link which is coming up now in chat. No, is that the right link? I don't even know my links. I don't think it's route, is it? No, that's the route. Fail. I don't even know my own Nightbot commands. What the moderators do. What is it? Destinations. Dear, fail. If you guys would like to know where I have streamed into before, check this link out. Destinations. Exclamation mark destinations. Although Crew Rush, that's a very good suggestion. I might change it to map. That would be easier. Gilham, the ZIBO FMC doesn't allow the definition of an alternative route to yet, maybe including a waypost and last situation. Yeah, no route 2 simulated, unfortunately, and I just leave it at that. I wouldn't start modifying route 1 to change your routing in any way. Tobias, what goes in handy with that map? I know what you're going to say now. God, Nightbot was quick to respond to that. Look at that. Butter immediate. Tobias has gone to the trouble of checking every single one of my streams to date and actually making a table of all my landing rates. And incredible work, really. Incredible. And yes, he mentioned my average. Was it minus 110 something, 111? Guys, guess what I watched yesterday? I decided to watch for the first time in many years The Matrix. I hadn't watched it, and then I ended up watching all 3 in a row. Such a good film series. And then I found out they're making a 4th. I found out yesterday they're going to be making a 4th. That's so cool. Yeah, it was all on Amazon Prime. It must have been very good. Boris Lee. Finney says programmer brilliant. Finney said Matrix boom guest. Obviously asked Mariana. He's beginning to believe.
Paco 24 November Victor, good evening. Warsaw radar identified. Could you please be on Paco 24 November Victor, disregard. Identified radar tracing, sir.
Cheeky Prime. Do you only use LNAV as a roll mode BX7 iOS? Yes, when you're on your programmed flight plan routing, you'd use LNAV. Heading select when you're on vectors from ATC, which can happen in the cruise sometimes, usually for traffic deconfliction to remove or increase separation between traffic. Vorlog for the localizer. You can use it to track VORs if you wish, but it's very unusual in this day and age to have ATC in an upper airway to ask you to fly on a particular radial from a VOR, but the aircraft can do it. Ben Spouse, very cool. I was looking forward to the next film. It was Revolution when it came out 20 years ago. Exactly, Ben. I watched that, and it looks great still to this day. And it came out in 1999. I couldn't actually believe. I mean, I watched that film loads, 10, 15 years ago, but actually watching it back yesterday for the first time since then, I really appreciate how far ahead of time it was in regards to the 3D special effects. Amazing. Nigel Lamb, welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to our members only Discord as well. Enjoy the custom motors and chats, and I hope you're doing very well, sir. Thank you. Base leg block, what's our cargo today? 180 passengers. No simulated checks-in bags, so we'll carry on luggage today. Oh, Captain Monster, one of the members of the channel, is on Slovakia approach. He's now seen a sector full of inbound unpackers. Yes, I had a look at the VATSIM map. Looks incredibly busy. Wow, oh my goodness me, there's a right little conga line going on. Cool, blimey. Thanks to everyone that joined on here. That's going to keep Slovakia approach busy. There might be a few other people coming in from other destinations as well. Jurassic, yeah, the original Jurassic Park is good, Kurosh, but the Matrix is such a... what I found I was doing, I watched all the films, and then I probably spent half an hour this morning looking at all the wikis about the Matrix. I'm really fascinated by like the plot lines, like the architect and how they're all programmed in the Matrix. Agent Smith, and you know, I find myself going in depth into it. Now, I don't know much outside the film franchise, but was it a book before? Or perhaps a mini-series, because the wiki goes into a lot of detail which is never mentioned in the films. It talks about the machine war and how it started, and how they tried to get some peace, and then they blew up a nuclear bomb and they all had to go underground. Oh, I best not spoil it. And I haven't said what happened to Simply Bob. Would never do that on film. Jim Vasto, how often do you use Autoland? Is it pilot discretion? Yes, operationally we only use it when we need to, but you can conduct a practice Autoland onto any ILS, be it, even if it has just Cat 1, but you have to have visibility of it, at least I think it's 1500 metres, you know, quite good visibility. But no, with pilots, we want to hand fly, so we very rarely go, you know what, let's just do an auto land. I've never flown with a captain when I was an FO, and I've never seen an FO go, can I do an auto land? The only time I have, or seen, or have I done one, is there is a requirement prior to your 6-month sim check that you have to have completed at least one auto land and one what we call modest approach. However, if you can't do that on the line, doesn't matter, you can do an additional practice one in your sim check, so it's not a big issue, but we try and do it on the line when we can. Ladbound said, I've recently watched the original Jurassic Park again. It's still spine tingling when those first dinosaurs come on screen.
Alpha 1 Alpha Victor.
Yeah, it's a great film. I watched that a lot.
Call the Warsaw radar.
Alright, Sebo, is the auto-land function guaranteed to butter the landing? No, but it does a reasonable job of it. But sometimes it might not be acceptable, and you have to monitor the auto-land throughout the entire land-out procedure. And if in the eyes of the crew or the captain it was not satisfactory, if it was landing outside of the landing touchdown zone off the centre line, you must report that straight away. And I don't know then beyond that fact what happens, what the engineers change or tweak, but every autoland has to be noted in the tech log, whether it was satisfactory or unsatisfactory, if it was left or right of centre line, and if it was unsatisfactory you must immediately notify the engineers. I've never had it. It's not always quite on the centre line, but very close, and it's always done a good job for me. Simply, what do you do if autoland fails? Depends what phase of the approach you're at, but if you're below 1,000 feet and we do a check at 500 feet to make sure flare is armed. If at that point flare is not armed, we would immediately execute a missed approach. If there's some issue, say at minimums, where the autopilot fails, or if the autopilot fails at any point during the flare, again, go around, even if it's visual, just scan it, have another go. Toby said minus 279 was the last ZIBO autoland. Yeah, it was pretty firm, but we've ordered an autoland before, and it's actually done it did do a butter, I remember. Captain Bonson says, prepare for ILS approach runway 31 as runway 22 is closed. You even mentioned that earlier, or someone did. Thanks for the heads up. It's nice when the approach controller contacts you. Wish that happened in real life. 3 Romeo, 3-1, and I guess the Ukermu. There's 2 transitions here. Let's have a look at the charts. Very realistic if they're simulating this. It's going to be via the VACC transition. You might be asking, how on earth did I know that? I'm just having a look at the charts now, and I can see from our routing we're going in via VACC on that start. There we go. Ooh, what happened there? Did that actually go through the right points? Yeah, it does. Perfect. That's really nice. A lot of these airports now, the stars, the transitions put you straight onto the ILS. Never been to Bratislava in real life, so whether they vect you or you have radar, I don't know. I should think they do.
Cargo Luke 73 Charlie Foster identified land 360.
Now, Will and the Kid, is there something that you don't learn in your education but you need in your job? Just learn in your job. Interesting question, William. I mean, it's a bit of a strange comparison, but if you're learning something it's not related to, I mean, I don't know what your situation is if you're at school still, but learn as much as you can. But yeah, you learn a lot in your job as well. It's good to have the background knowledge as well. Kurosh, do the autopilots do the exact same thing during autolands, or do they decide based on what is happening? I mean, both autopilots are engaged in manipulating the controls, depending on what autoland system you have. For example, at my operator we have what we call a failed passive autoland system. That means if one of the autopilot fails, they both disconnect, but they'll leave the aircraft in an in-trim condition, ready for you to most likely go around. I think a fail operational system, which has a rudder servo, so the autoland has an ability to maintain sense line after landing, which is when you get that rollout FMA. I think, not sure, don't quote me on this, I think if they have an autopilot failure, they can continue. I think they might have a third autopilot. I don't know anything about the failed operational system. A big request from the guys, yes, only English in chat because I have absolutely no clue what you're saying. Racing, now you mentioned CWS, I'm curious why you didn't use it during your flight to Tel Aviv as you went through extreme turbulence then and had to disconnect the autopilot and cruise. Oh, Rosie, did I? I can't even remember that. But that wasn't that in the... Was that in the 7.3? I don't think it was crazy turbulence, but if it was in the sim, yeah. You don't get that same sensation you would with severe turbulence, so you wouldn't really know what to do or know when to disconnect it. I genuinely can't remember. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. It was Barcelona to Tel Aviv. Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, severe turbulence. You want to be putting control wheel steering in just to maintain the attitude. But yeah, severe turbulence is very rare. It can happen. And aircraft has to be inspected. And a set-log entry made if you've experienced severe turbulence en route. So, arrival. Three whiskey. Or 3 Romeo, sorry, 3 Romeo. Jeb's like to put everything on one chart.
Service 440, zero intention, please. You're clear for 1000 feet now, descending 4000 feet. Zero intention, please. Okay.
So see here, there's 2 charts. You've got ILS 4% missed approach climb gradient and 2.5% missed approach climb gradient. So you'll see here the one with the higher missed approach climb gradient. So this is the 4% one. This is the 2% one. The one with the 4% will have a lower minimums. So you'll see here for a Cat 1 ILS, it's the standard height of 200 feet, 634 above sea level. If you look at the Cat 2.5% missed approach climb rate, which is the standard one, you'll see that the minimums are not 200, they're 279 feet, so they're 80 feet higher. Now why is that? The reason is to the north of Bratislava there's terrain just here. So if you want to fly the standard minimums, you have to ensure that you can fly a steeper missed approach climb gradient of this, in this case 4% here. How do we work that out? Via tables and graphs, or best of all the Boeing OPT app. It's great, you just simply punch in the missed approach climb gradient, and that ensures that in the event of an engine failure, you should be able to fly a missed approach, publish missed approach, so long as you've got this here. And it does remind you, look, if you can't maintain 4%, we have tables for 2.5, which is the standard missed approach climb gradient. But to ensure that you can fly that missed approach climb gradient and satisfy all the obstacle terrain clearance at 2.5%, you have to have higher minimums to make sure that you go around at that point. But yeah, the 737, usually the actual missed approach climb gradient single engine is way beyond 2.5, unless you're very heavy and it's very hot. That's rarely an issue, but it can be at certain airports, something that you have to check. But yeah, I'm happy that the 4.5 for us today is going to be fine. I could punch it all in the OPT to double check, but it should be great. Benjamin, we often see large coffee cups stowed aside the cockpit chairs. Do these ever end up being spilled on the pedestal console? They do. So yes, this is not allowed in the flight deck. Yes, of course you can have a coffee, but you must have a lid on it. Even they go as far as to say where I work, but they want you to have a screw top lid on it, because yes, if you do not want to be the individual who has his coffee and cup and spills it on top of the pedestal and shorts all the pedestal, the radio and everything. So yeah, it's worthwhile making sure you have the correct lid, and it's fine, you know. I take my own coffees to work with a lid and just put it in there. You're right there, Mariana, slamming in through the door. Mariana walked into the door. Congratulations. You right there? You fell in. Oh dear.
Charlie of the tank, contact Bratislava radar 13447, sir. Bye-bye.
13475, I'm practicing Charlie.
Very good. I'm sorry, I was just talking to Mariana about a few things. Domino Mosini, you have your parking brakes still on? Interesting. How did I manage that? I must have knocked it. Oh dear. Pilot's sippy gums. Guys, it's a good job you spotted that because, yeah, that's not. You do not want to have the parking brakes set when you're coming to land here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud of our little conga line going from Riga to Slovakia. A lot of traffic coming in.
Charlie with you, flight level 360.
Alpha 9 Charlie, good evening. Warsaw Radar identify 360.
Yep, thanks for the IRL pilot emojis. So we got the I don't think I've ever managed to set the parking brake in real life. It does require a lot of, you know, thoughtful input. You can't sort of do it accidentally, let's say. Oh, what am I doing? now I'm trying to change the heading, and I'm using the Barra hectopascal knob all over the place today. Oh dear. Anyway, some lovely Ortho 4XP to enjoy. Showing you outside. There's nothing where it's so loud, the exterior sounds of the ZIBO mod. There we go. Frankel says, what I want to know is, can you have the funky straws in the cockpit that twist and turn? Probably not. I'd love to.
50, 40,
And is it
30,
possible to set a
20,
parking brake in the air compressor? I'm
10.
not 100% sure. I should think you can.
Good afternoon, Captain. The missed approach into Bar looks tricky. Can you demonstrate it today?
Thank you very much, Dominic Orsini, for your $5 donation. Now, you missed Dominic earlier in Discord. I did actually stream a full missed approach to the members that were watching, and also a circle to land. However, today, with the amount of traffic going in, I won't add to that extra workload by going around. But I was testing it going, well, it's flawlessly in the mod now, all the modes and stuff. But yeah, if it happens, it happens. But I will add another time. Thank you for your donation, nonetheless. And Deep Space, that would have made touchdown interesting, yes. Tom Knudsen, very good evening. How come your voice is so low today? Yeah. Is that better, guys? Is it because my microphone's really far away? I don't know, because I've not changed any settings there. Is that better? It was a bit far away there. Maybe, yeah, I'm running the music and the sim at the volumes I would at this point. There we are, turned it down slightly. Better, thanks guys. Yeah, sorry, slight issue there with my volume. Yeah, when I started streaming, if you listen to my first ever stream, I basically had the mic in my mouth like this. And ever since then, I've moved it quite far back. But no, I put it to the position where I usually leave it now. Oh, he saw the Q8 pilot today, said 100 life is good. I know, he's so generous. He comes in so often with massive donations. Yeah, there you go. Holy moly, that woke me up. I could see on the audio input capture went bright red when I was talking as well. Flight deck 2XR. Rip ears, lol. Right, anyway, let's finish selecting the charts we need for this approach.
Papa 28 Mike, report speed.
Oops.
Reduce the speed, max is 178, Papa 28
So
Mike.
they're already sequencing people in here with speed restrictions. And we're landing on 3-1. Okay. Weather's lovely there this evening, really nice.
3818, very good evening, Warsaw Radar. You are clear destination Warsaw, runway 25. Papa 3 Juliet departure.
Sorry, Petrich, Mr. Cool, looks like I killed your ears.
Papa 5 Juliet, signal down for 1000, load 3818. 3818, please, fully correct.
Very cool. Yeah, Q8 Buy's got a great YouTube channel. I recommend anyone to, especially if you want to tweak your sim or learn something new. Very, very useful. One of the earliest subscriptions I had on YouTube. So look at the spacing they've got here. 30 miles here, quite large gaps. See how they deal with it here. Around 100 miles from top of drop now, so let's start planning our descent. So Jim has control. 250 below 100s. Charts. Yeah. Yeah, I think these winds at 20 knots, 7 and 2. It's hardly no point putting the winds in, but we shall. I tested the sector earlier, guys. ZIBO's on point at the moment. The mod's really nice. So yeah, if you're attempting or not sure when to update the ZIBO mod, I'm running 346.7, so if you're running an older version, thoroughly recommend firstly getting 346, and then once you've got 346, go straight to 346.7. I really couldn't find much wrong with it. VNAV perfect, pitch power settings perfect, very impressive. As I've always pointed out, everything's always very, very good with this aircraft. Let's have a little look at the META here. Really nice evening in Bratislava. If my META would actually load. Clear skies, 9 degrees, high pressure, 1034. Really nice. So make sure when you have high pressure or low pressure, or a differing pressure, high from standard, always put the QNH or the META in here. It helps VNAV build, when you switch over to your local pressure setting, a better profile. If you don't set that, it's going to presume your profile's on 1013 all the way to touchdown, and then you'll have a jump in your VNAV profile when you'll set your QNH or standard. So that's set. Runway 31, fixed wings are in. 10-4, and we're at 38,000 feet, so that's going to be slash. Superb. So that's all done. Don't mind looking at the panel. I was just talking to Mario as well. So that's done, and let's get the chart open. So yeah, when the weather's like this, so exactly what we want to see. We're leaving the low cloud base, going further south. Look at that, lovely. Obviously, yeah, we're not streaming live time. We're exactly 12 hours behind live time, but we can enjoy the lovely scenery in the approach at least. So let's turn this music down here slightly, guys. So expecting runway 31 via Bertha. This is a standard arrival. It's actually on our base. We're going via Bertha. There are Bertha.
787. Taxi holding point, runway 29 November 2 via Mike and Echo.
Cool. Go from Bertha, Juliet, 3560, 14.9 miles. Then going to the, excuse my Slovakian, Janov's VOR. If I was at work, I'd just say Juliet Alpha November. I do my best to pronounce during streams. There's holding there if it's busy. Otherwise, we're going to go straight past Juliet Alpha November to VIDRA, which is initial approach fix. There we are. What else does the chart say? On first established two-way radio contact with Stefanik radar, pilots arriving at airport shall report aircraft type, report assigned heading or direct routing, confirm ATIS information QNH. High terrain to the north, 3,700. So if we can't see where we are, if we lose situation awareness, we'll make sure we're above 4,000 feet. Max 250 below 10,000 feet. Expensing then vectors, if not via the VIDRA initial approach fix, onto the extended centre line via this waypoint Delta 199 Juliet. So we have a little arc here. Well, it's not an arc, it's based off a radial. This would be out around 2,527 DME. And then we'll continue that turn inbound to Delta 199 Juliet. That's on the extended centre line, 4,300 feet, makes sense. And speed should be back to 176 knots, so we don't need to put 180 or below in this case, and we're outside of 10. Then on to the approach, passing the final approach fix, which is at 6.5 DME, 2,500 feet, is at or above. That's fine. And then set the ILS, which is 3 degrees, so we're 3 degrees, checks in the FMS. Passing the Oscar Bravo NDB, so we have a stiffening NDB, Oscar Bravo 330, that's also coded, 1667, 1667, so we'll get that tuned, 330, it's back up. We'll select ADF here, and ADF there as well. Cool. That's set, and then down we go to our minimums. This was the 4% missed approach climb gradient. Again, we check that. It's not. We do have a landing performance calculator in the ZIBO mod, but I don't think it takes into account your missed approach climb gradient calculation. I'm not sure. Double check that with ZIBO, but I'm confident we'd make that. That's something I'd never say in real life. We'd always check landing performance, but for the sake of the sim, yes, we're happy. 634 feet to the minimums. It's set, and if we have to go around, we'll push Toga once, as Dominic Orsini's praying. Dominic Orsini, just for you in case. Toga once will go around flat 15, set go around for us, positive rate of climb gear at 400 feet, we'll engage LNAV, and we'll climb at 1.5 DME off Oscar Bravo, so it's DME off the ILS. We'll make sure that's coded too. If it's coded correctly, we can definitely use LNAV. There we are, so we have Delta 310 Bravo, that represents that first waypoint. And there it's coded, and then it's a right turn, inbound to the Jan VOR, climbing to 3,000 feet. We need to set these frequencies still anyway. So we'll go 1107 as the active frequency. I do have a lovely Cytec radio tuning panel, but for nav aids it's just easier to do it down like this. I just use it for VATSIM and box 1. So 1107 is set for the ILS, and for the missed approach we'll set up the Janov's VOR 110.8. 110.8 is set. 634 minimums we set, course is 310. Sweet. So that's it. Missed approach was 3,000. So yeah, it's missed approach is quite straightforward. It obviously is an immediate right turn because there is terrain to the north here. So that's set, and yeah, 3,000 feet to the VOR. Papping's on the left. Approach lights as well. What's this runway capable? Yeah, this is Cat 3 lighting, so they have all the lights here. Excellent. So runway 31, 3,200 meters. I reckon we can make Golf. That's the first high speed. That's the one ATC would expect us to vacate as well, and that's going to be around 1,800 meters. Let's do the landing performance today. Actually, I'll see if ZIBO does simulate missed approach climb gradients. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Where is it? It's been ages since I've used it. Fuel weight balance, performance landing. So runway 31. Yeah, so it's ZIBO, the mod's just fixed at 2.5. I'll have a chat to ZIBO about getting this changed, because I think it's just basic tabular based data. So we should be able to maybe we could get it so we can increase it in 0.5 increments, have accurate data, and all it's going to do is higher the approach climb gradient can affect your landing distance slightly, so because it'll have a higher point at which to go around at. So that's set. It's going to be dry. Surface wind is set as well. Because the landing performance calculator doesn't just work out how much runway you need, it'll look in your, can you safely fly a missed approach, can you go around for the approach phase as well. It looks into all of that and it'll tell you what your maximum weight is for each sector, but it's usually very rarely an issue. Right, just getting the latest weather. Yeah, 9 degrees, calm winds, and 1034. So I'm going to... At 134475, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Good day. Perfect, that's Bratislava. So just before we check in, I'll finish this landing performance. Flap 30. Just be off, speed brake auto, reversers, no credit, we'll go idle reverse to be fair, and the QNH was 103. What was the temperature? 9. Oh, can you not select minus in the mod? I'll leave it at 0 then. Landing weight, 3.3. 7.9 off, so that's 61.5. Make sure you check your performance first before you select your landing weight. Flight 30 order brake 31792, and we reckon it's around 1800 metres to golf. So we'll plan for that. We can disconnect the brakes if it doesn't work, and that is all set. Excellent.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, Bratislava radar.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, my apologies. Flight level 380 inbound to Berva, Mach decimal 77.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, good evening, Bratislava radar identified. Expect Nitra flight level, correction, expect Berva, flight level 130, report ready for descent.
Expect to be flight level 130 at Beryl, Wilco Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Excellent. So they want us at 130, it says /144, so make sure you update that in the FMS. That will regenerate a new top of descent point to ensure VNAV will make that restriction with idle thrust planned. Excellent, so that's it, performance done. Jim, I'll have back control please. Yeah, there you go boss. Perfect. All done. 10 miles till top of drop.
Radar, hello.
Kurosh, how do you input variable winds in the OPT app? What you do, Kurosh, is when you're given a variable wind, you want to use it twice. The first thing you want to do is find out what the maximum crosswind component is with the variable wind. That's to make sure your crosswind's within limits. And then for the headwind component with a variable wind, you want to again take the worst case. So for example, let's imagine here the wind was variable between 040 and 090. For performance, if it was a tailwind in this case, we take the worst case one, which would be 090. Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, request descent.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, descent flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra.
Alpaca 24 November.
Excellent! Let's get those top of in chat, interactive stream. On our way down into Slovakia. It's quite a short flight. I would have probably made this one a 2-sector, guys, but had a few things to get done this morning as well, and just wanted to catch up with the ZIBO mod, and I did a test sector this morning, so it's just the 1 sector today, I'm afraid, guys.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra on conversion speed 270 knots.
On conversion speed 270 knots, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. So VNAV 270 on conversion. Now this might change the VNAV profile slightly, yeah, not by much. So it's going to now maintain, oh yeah, not by much, 2,000 feet, that's seems a bit extreme. So just be careful here, because VNAV will dive to capture this profile now. I'm just going to go level change, just to keep the speed, the rate of descent under control. in reality, it keeps it around 5.5 max. It's not that necessarily that uncomfortable. This is just a little bit smoother. I'm just going to bump decimal 78, and as soon as our indicated airspeed is 270 knots, we'll switch over to indicated airspeed, just to get back on profile here.
Papa 3 Charlie Foxtrot, descent flight level 130.
Good guys.
Papa 4 November Victor, turn left bearing 200 vectoring for spacing.
Left turn 200.
Dodgy, don't look at this dodgy dial over here. I could just... There we are. Fixed. Nothing wrong.
Papa 5 Tango Sierra, expect Berva 3 Romeo arrival.
Expect the Bertha 3 Romeo Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Top of the drops.
Papa 2 Mike, descent flight level 330.
There's a lot of alpacas in bad today. Henry Hoach, why are you setting the heading to the right of track? Sorry if this has been explained before. No problem at all, Henry. It's what these live streams are all about. So not by much, to be fair. So yeah, you'll see here, this is a track up display, meaning that's the direction the aircraft is going on this magnetic track. And then we simply put the heading bug to this white triangle. That white triangle is your current magnetic heading. There's not much crosswind here, so it should be pretty much bang
Please
on.
use this FTO Start Jack's FO training so that Jim can have a holiday he looks like. HES faded away.
He is faded away, Microsoft and yeah, Jim is again brought his invisibility cloak into work, but thank you very much, Gordon Smith, for the flight pads. Please use this for the start of Jack's FO training so that Jim can have a holiday. So he looks like he's faded away. Thank you. Jack is very much only in control of our airline. Oh, look, I'm not concentrating. Look, make sure, oops, you do 270, otherwise you're going to screw up ATC. So yeah, thank you very much, Gordon Smith. We'll perhaps not get Jack trained up, but I appreciate it. Very well spotted, Declan John. Yeah, you beat me to it. On conversion, 270 knots. Saw that get ahead of me. And now we don't have a predicament, but we've got to work out, right, well, ATC want me to maintain 270 knots. The profile's based on me 270 knots, so what you'll see is once we're here in level change, it will pretty much parallel the profile. So I'll let you guys guess in chat what's going to be an option for me to recapture this profile here when I'm under a speed restriction, because usually with 80 don't give you a speed, I'll just speed up. You know, the most efficient way is speed up, recapture the profile and go from there. So what is going to be well, really the only other way to recapture this profile now, especially as this is a restriction ahead, remember, I need to be below 130 here and maintain 270 knots.
Back to the 130,
Correct.
Yes, you got it, pretty much. Spoilers, speed brake, you got it, guys, yes. Level change is the quickest... What you got to remember is level change is the quickest way for a set speed, so 270 knots. I can't go any quicker down than level change at 270 knots. This is the quickest way I can go down whilst maintaining this speed. So yeah, I'm restricted by ATC to do 270 knots. I have to be level at 130 here and maintain this speed. The only option I have is speed brake. Side slip. That's a good suggestion. Stick a passenger out the window for drag. Excellent. Disconnect, dive, reconnect. List them in. The DDR. That's Llama International's profile. That's what they hammer into their pilots in training to recover high energy approach. Descent flight level 130, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. I love that list, dude. That's really funny. I could just imagine Llama International's flight training school. Right, guys, if you need to recapture that profile, don't forget the DDR. Disconnect, dive, reconnect. It's amazing. That really tickled me. Hi, Jack. Hello. Just come in. Hello. Oh, buddy. Hi. Oh, right in the face. Hello. Yeah, that's the microphone. You just licked the microphone. Good boy. Can you hear it, guys? Can you hear it? Oh, he's getting nice chinny rubs now. When he gets chinny rubs, he really cranks his head up. Hello, buddy. Yes, I just put the mic in. Oh, okay. Oh, that's enough. What is it? Usually, Mummy's here. Yeah. Jack, where's Mummy? Go get Mummy. Go on then. Go get Mummy. He's gone. Lovely. And now, because I'm not concentrating, I've gone below profile. So make sure you keep an eye on that. You know, critical phase of flight and all. Don't. If you're a professional pilot, don't let dogs jump onto you on your lap. Don't live stream. Go back to VNAV now. That's twice I've missed the profile, Robin. Got a bit high, got a bit low. There we are. Oh, it's gone back to back to arm a little bit early there. So what I'm just going to do is just add a bit of thrust there. That's a little bit early on ZIBO Mod's behalf there. It should wait until it's bang on profile, and then it plans to go from FMC speed retard arm at a point at which to ensure that once you're back on profile, the thrust is at idle and you're descending it. So I'm just adding a little bit of thrust here manually. VNAV is just kind of like, it should be doing around 1,000-ish feet per minute just to capture the profile, and as soon as it's back on, it'll start descending, and I'll reduce that thrust just to help ATC out there. There we are. Now I'll slowly reduce the thrust as we're here manually. That's the great thing about ARM. You're in 134.925, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Thanks, great ETC, sir. Bye bye.
Left heading 120, vectoring for approach. ILS approach on the
Basically, got my lab is here too. He says hi to Jack. Awesome. I don't know if that was.
Average cargo 917, turn right heading.
There's Monster.
Right heading 220, average cargo 917.
Good evening, Monster. Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, descending flight level 130, inbound to Bertha.
Alpaca 1 for Mike, Juliet, route right heading 220.
Oh, he's busy. He's busy. He's going to be all professional now.
Right heading 220 and no speed restriction. Alpaca 1 for Mike Juliet. Alpaca 1 for Mike Juliet, thanks to the speed 200 or below. 200 or less, Alpaca 1 for Mike Juliet. Alpaca 295, descent 4,000.
He's got a professional. He's usually a bit of a joker in our Discord, this guy. No, he's not too bad.
Runner 2027, expedite climb, please. To flight level 1203. Expedite climb to flight level 120 and 2027.
Approach, good evening, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, descending flight level 130, inbound to Bertha, speed 270 knots.
Runner 2027, proceed direct.
You can't hear me, why can't he hear me?
Runner 2027, direct Vamok. Direct Vamok, runner 2027.
30.
Thanks a lot, Dominic.
Tango Sierra, a very good evening. Shipping radar contact, Ukraine information, kilo KNH103.
The A-team is here. Hi Jack and Im, sure that was
KNH1034,
Mariana's
expecting the Bertha 3
Very
Romeo,
exciting.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Thank you very much, Dominic. That timing wasn't the best there for my behalf, so thank you very much, buddy. A-team is here. We're all here. We're always all here at the moment with lockdown. So Jack's around. Hello to Mariana as well. She was around about 10 minutes ago. She's just in the kitchen now. Very excited. Thanks, Dominic. That's very kind. I know he ignores me. Unbelievable. And Gibraltar spotter, I guess. Any chance of dividing to Gibraltar and taking me to Bratislava so I can see my nephew and niece? That's quite a diversion. Io, is there a giveaway? Not today. I love doing giveaways, buddy, but I don't do them every single day.
Runner 2027, contact Bratislava radar 134.475.
Where were you on Sunday, Io? We did 3 giveaways. We did 3 giveaways. All the participants have received their lovely prizes.
Radar, hello, welcome to Mike information
Thank you.
Alpaca 3 Charlie Fox, turn left.
Danny, can you explain what the NGS system is for the centre fuel tank 737-800? Yes, Danny. The nitrogen generation system. Nitrogen is an inert gas, so basically we want to make sure, and it was ever since, I can't remember the exact event, I think it was a 747, the fuel, there was a fume event, and a spark on a 747 in the Atlantic caused it to explode, and they just wanted to make sure there was no, I presume oxygen or air, but it ensures that the air filled in the centre tank with any fuel ready is with nitrogen, so it reduces the chance of any explosions. Essentially. It's not a requirement for dispatch though, but it does need to be fixed at some point. And see, all three were rigged.
Current information is now Lima KNH 1034. Cleared November India Tango 3 Romeo arrival runway 31.
Oh yeah, we're on the arrival now. We'll maintain 270 knots. There's actually no speed restrictions here, but 250 below 100. It was TWA 800. Whether that was linked to the use of NGS or being introduced, I don't know, but I remember, you know, I think there's definitely a link between the two. No, I probably watched some program about it. Irish Turbo 50, when is the next stream, Captain? Possibly Friday, late afternoon. A little bit of a high-speed 4-engine jet might be making another appearance again. It was very popular last week.
Thank you, speed 220 or below.
Speed 220 or less,
Alpha 5 Tango Sierra, descent 5,000, correction 8,000.
Descent 8,000 feet, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Confirm QNH?
QNH is 1034.
5,000 feet, QNH 1034, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Right, level change. Second QNH 1034, 13,500 for 8,000 feet. Standby altimeter is set. Transition level's quite high here, flight level 100.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Break, Alpaca 2 for number Victor, turn left heading 180 Victor for Alpha runway 31.
So we're going to maintain 270, sorry, until we are need to go back to 250, and then I'll bring the speed brake back in again. I don't know whether we're going to get any delayed vectors, but it sounds like everyone's getting sequenced in straight away.
Right heading 160.
Oh, they're getting vectors by the sounds of it.
3,000. Right heading 160, 3,000, Alpaca 3 traffic.
Sweet.
Alpaca 2 for number Victor, I don't know if I cleared this or about that, but descent 6,000 feet, heading 180.
Again, we're just going to introduce a little bit of speed brake for two reasons. We're a little bit higher on profile, plus I'm going to shortly want to reduce speed to 250, and that will help me out there. See the rate of descent increasing now because level change is pitching to maintain 270 knots. Hi, your streams are beautiful. The landing not so. That is brutal.
Average cargo now 17 no speed restriction.
Tobias, show him the landing table if you're still here.
We are now established localized at 31. Average cargo now 17, can you go for around 220 knots for now, please? That's fair, I'm increasing 220. Okay, thank you.
Very busy.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, turn left heading 120, descent 5,000 and vectoring for us, runway 31.
Left 120 degrees, descent altitude 5,000 feet, vectors for ILS 31, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. So, straight away, with that vector, get rid of speed brake, get rid of level change, because like, we're already adding to our track miles here, so I'm just going to set 1,000 feet per minute. You did say we're vectors number 1. Perfect. KF says not following the horizontal path. Yes, that's VNAV. That's going to be the best vertical profile to follow if we're going to straight in following the magenta line. But when you're off the magenta line like this, you want to adjust or use different pitch modes to kind of try and maintain a continuous descent, try and make it a little bit more efficient. It helps reduce noise, save fuel.
God,
look how busy it is here. It did say number 1. I find that hard to believe looking at the VATSIM map, because there's 3 people on final. Oh, got to do the post-cruise checks here. Look, too busy chatting here. Right, so 4 pumps on. We've got 4 tons on board. We need 2.4 to divert to Vienna. Lights come up on. APU's on, pressurisation 2.8, and set seatbelts should turn on at 15,000 feet. Recall. There we are. Jets complete.
Sending crew level 210 inbound Burma.
Busy, poor cookie.
Average cargo now 17, contact Spike Tower 1 and decimal 3.
Yes, 117, average cargo 917, dobrý večer.
Stefan Radar, clearing 330 airport, 3000 feet.
50, 40,
So
30,
busy.
20, 10.
Thank you very much, Stefan Malcolm, for the £5. Very kind of you, sir.
Dear Captain, since watching your MSFS pre-release stream, I have bought explain spent hundreds on extra aircraft and hundreds of hours flying them.
Thank you very much, Stefan, for your £5 donation. And awesome that you came to the channel with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yes, we enjoy flying that stream here, but of course, Explain right now, I think, has the best detailed commercial jet airliners by a considerable mile. Yes, the sim doesn't have modern graphics and stuff, but when you get the aircraft like this flying as realistic as possible with Ortho, it looks really, really good. So awesome, man. Very glad, Stephen, that I kind of encourage you to get into simming. Sorry about all the money you spent. So yeah, now we're going further and further away from the airport. Really shallow off that descent now. Very busy here. Splat Flies Blaines. I don't think I've been in this chat before, but I've been watching your stream shows and they're great. Thank you. Merc, why don't you just go outside and fly your real plane? Well, slight issue, Merc, with a global pandemic at the moment, which has absolutely destroyed the global aviation industry. If I could fly as much as I would, I love my job, I can't. But this is my kind of side fun hobby, which has been going on for 4 years, way before the pandemic, and now I've obviously...
Tango Sierra, turn right heading 160, descend 2,000, correction 3,000 feet.
Right, 160 degrees, descend 3,000 feet, Alpaca 5, Tango Sierra. Thanks, guys.
3830, expedite climb, flight level 120 immediately.
80 call twice, very critical, Leon, but yes, you're quite right, I should be looking at chat in real life. So yeah, still pretty far away from the airport here, but with the amount of traffic in here going on, I'm just trying to sequence everyone in. I'm just going to bring up 199 Juliet up here, which is on the extended centre line.
290 clear ILS 31 report stability on the localizer at Rocket 24 November Victor. Yellow 18 Bravo, descent 8,000.
Jordan Lucky, 80 call you twice, you need to concentrate. You're putting me off already.
Sorry, Galo 18 Bravo, current information Lima is QNH 1034. Information Lima, QNH 1034, Galo 18 Bravo. Galo 3830
Very, very nice evening.
Bratislava Radar 134.475. 134.475,
Anthony Murphy, can you do a quick brief on RMP at AMP, please? Anthony Murphy, check out my RNAV approach tutorial, which has an explanation between RMP and AMP, but very quickly, RMP is the required navigational performance for a particular phase of flight, so an RNAV approach, for example, typically 0.3. AMP is an estimate of the aircraft's position based off FMS, GPS, VOR, and the FMC will calculate your position based off all this data. And it's important to ensure that your AMP is less than the RMP required for an approach. For example, an RNAV approach requires a 0.3 RMP. We actually have to check on page 4 the cross-track area isn't more than half that when you're flying those approaches. But yeah, the tutorial goes in a little bit more in depth.
Okay, 5 Tango Sierra, turn right heading 120. Correction 220.
Right heading 220 degrees, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra.
Alpaca 2 Mike, 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet, Alpaca 3 November Victor, turn left heading 120, 6,000 feet for you.
good thing you didn't try and fly this sector in the Blériot.
Alpha 3 number Victor.
You're quite right, John.
left heading 120.
I enjoyed flying that again though, and that was very kind of Wing 42 last stream to have given away a copy. This lovely evening.
Good evening, Alpha 106, inbound south, flight level 120.
Busy. Hanif, quick question, how do you know what to plug into the course? For ILS approach, it's very simple. All you need to make sure is that you have the final approach track lined up here, 310, which is, for an ILS, matches the runway QDM, the runway heading. Landing lights on below 10,000, I remember that one, RS Turbo, but it was late.
Alpha 2 for number Victor, you are number 5, continue approach.
Number 5, continue approach, about 2 for number Victor.
28 Mike from right heading 170. Right heading 170.
He's all busy, Cookie.
The
scenery here in Bratislava is just the stock scenery, I'm afraid. There was no payware available, and there is a TDG scenery, but it's very outdated, so it's just the gateway scenery, which apparently is the best one to use. Polcaster anti-ice? No, not at the moment. There is some cloud here, but we're not going to fly into it. But just before entering icing conditions, we'd use it.
Altitude 8,000 feet, going to 034 around that 9 Alpha.
So much traffic. That's quite a cool little cloud. Yeah, unfortunately, some of the Bing maps here, I only discovered this morning, I didn't have time to change it, have clouds. And guess what, there's one right over the top of Bratislava's airport.
Negative, Alitalia 388. Negative, Alitalia 388, inbound Rubens, descending 7,000. Alitalia 388, that was not for that for Norshell 26 Foxtrot, but please stand by. Break, Alpha 5 Tango Sierra, turn right heading 300, cleared Alice for runway 31, establish Slovakia.
Right 300 degrees on the heading, cleared ILS 31, call established, Alpaca 5, Tango Sierra. Perfect, so that's set. Now it's a mixture of X-Plane 11 and the ZIBO mod. They're quite late at identifying the localizer. It should easily be picked up by now. So you'll see it's not even there. So what I'm going to do is extend the centre line from the centre fix. So if you bring the waypoint you want to extend from to the top, and then just put the runway QDM, so in this case 310. Execute, and that'll draw kind of like a magenta extended line for you, and then you can actually use LNAV. And that's actually how we fly under vectors on non-precision approaches. Once we're on our final approach course under vectors, we'd extend the centre line like I have done here. And that's just a problem with, I don't know if it's X-Plane 11 on the ZIBO mod, I think it's mostly X-Plane because I have this issue in loads of aircraft, but it's unusual to be vectored out this far away, to be fair. But yeah, it's not even picked up a localizer yet, so you have to either do it manually in heading or extend the centre line like I have and just use LNAV. We sort of maintained a bit of a CDA. I'll bring the speed back shortly. There's a bit of a gap here.
Bro, make a 180 turn to the left and descend 5,000.
Oh, Merc, lovely.
Jump back for 1 Alpha Victor, descending to flight level to 13,000 feet inbound.
Warhawks, yeah, and these default clouds. I think it's the Active Sky cloud preset.
Mike, descend 2,500 feet.
1,000 to go.
Checked.
Alpha 3 number Victor, 2,500 feet for you.
Awesome, right. We're on final now, so I'll just mute the alerts here. Music is off. Approach checks would have been done. 1107, 1107, but we can't even ident it yet because of X-Plane. I'm just going to double check, make sure I do have the frequency set though. 1107 is active, box 1 and 2. So yeah, there we go. Look, 21 miles it came alive. It should be. It should come alive way beyond that. But there we are. Localizers alive. We can arm Vorlock. We cleared to set localized. There we are. Vorlock capture and runway heading 310 is set. And we'll start slowing down.
Alpaca 2 and Mike, turn right heading to 80 cleared as...
Alexander Asher, you're still on ADF1. Yeah, I still want ADF1 because we actually, as backup, have the Oscar Bravo NDB tuned, which is on this approach.
Radar Alpaca 1 Alpha 6. Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, no speed restrictions.
Free speed Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra and localizer established.
Okay, thank you. Continue approach number 4.
Continue approach Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra.
Kilo 1 with Bravo, please stand by. Break, Alpaca 3 number, Victor, turn right heading.
Poor Cookie, he's really busy. He's done a great job though.
Alpaca 3 number, Victor, right heading 220. Right heading 220.
Well, so much for my CDA, about to level off at 3,000, but I've been kind of doing 500 feet per minute for the last 6-7 minutes. Looking good though.
Kilo 1-8 Bravo, turn left heading.
Have you got traffic behind you, Sebastian? I'm not sure. But we're given free speeds. Technically, I could do whatever speed I'd like, but probably slow down a little bit early there. Listen, don't you need to set the second VO on the EFIS panel to have an ILS? So if Jim wants all the ILS information, he needs to ensure he has the frequency set, so 1107, otherwise he'll have a different thing tuned and he'd lose the roll bar on the flight director. But yeah, we both tune the frequencies to the ILS, which I have done with the course at 310. I prefer to flap 1, please. We'll wait till 10. Honestly, we're below the glide slope. There's no need to do it too early, otherwise you're just going to burn too much fuel. Just so many idiots in chat this evening.
Blocked. Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, Mike Tower 18.3, have a battery landing.
1183, good job, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Take care, buddy.
Thank you very much, my ears got on fire and I am... Alpaca 1 Alpha...
I didn't catch that. Right, anyway, so yeah, that was glide slope alive, and there's 10 miles. That's the last point at which I can select flap 1. So there we are, flap 1. There's the green light, flap 5, match speed, we've been cleared ILS, so we'll arm approach, and we'll check my tower. I've got the right frequency here, haven't I? 183, yes.
233, Papa, ready for immediate takeoff.
And glide slope capture, missed approach altitude is 3,000 feet, and that is set, and we have flap 5, perfect.
Ryanair 233 Papa, wind 020 degrees 4 knots, runway 04 clear for takeoff, and after the...
Oh, runway 04 they're using for departures, that's cool. Tower, good evening, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, ILS 31, just past 7 miles.
Ground 120.909, bye.
120.980, Alpaca 249 Victor.
Tower, good evening, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, ILS 31 at 6 miles.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, good evening, Stefanik Tower, wind 020 degrees 4 knots, continue approach number...
Continue approach Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Excellent, so I haven't got a landing clearance yet, we'll configure at 4 miles, lovely and visual this evening. Nice little flyby I feel is in order. We'll turn the exterior noises up. I don't do usually many of these on the approach. There's traffic behind, look. Amazing.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, wind 020 degrees 4 knots, runway 31 clear to land.
Runway 31 cleared to land, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. There's 4 miles, gear down, flap 15, landing, checklist 2 flaps. Start switch is continuous, recall is checked, speed brake. Recall is checked, speed brake is armed, green light, landing gear down 3 green, order brake is set to 3, and holding flaps, flap 30. And no wind. So flaps we have 30, green light, lights are on, checks complete. So we played that video back 20 seconds. I did a classic rhyme repeat response there, it's very dangerous. So I went recall checked, I hadn't actually checked it. It's a big issue in aviation is rhyme repeat responses, and it's very easy to fall into that trap where you read a checklist item. I'm on my own here, so it does make it more difficult, but I always went recall checked. I hadn't even done it, so it's been very careful with that. So it's very easy when the pilot monitoring reads a checklist item and you just respond the answer without checking. I'm very, very cross with myself. Right, top of the amber bar, we're fully stabilised. There's autopilot disconnected, auto throttle disconnected. Mind controls clear to land. Checklist is complete.
400.
Oh dear, no excuses. I've got nothing. No wind, clear skies. Oh, my speed's going low. 3 reds. What was going on here?
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30.
Check.
20, 10.
Close. Hold that attitude. Come on. Come on. You must be there. Oh, lovely. Speed breaks up. Reverses. Oh. I'm going to miss that high speed though. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was way too fast to make. 100 knots. And I said I was going to go idle as well. 80 knots. 60 will take the next. Oh no, I can't vacate here. It's a runway. Ah, I completely missed that high speed. I have to vacate at Delta. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bratislava, Slovakia. Completely floated way too long though, missed the high speed. I didn't even mean to. I must have been just like a foot off the ground for about 200 meters. Amazing. Oh, ZIBO, get rid of that sound! It sounds like someone's changing a Formula 1 car!
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, welcome to Bratislava and contact Stefani, ground on frequency 120.905.
Ground 120.9 Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Thanks to great ATC, sir. Bye.
Bye bye.
Excellent. Right, over to grounds.
Squawk 1000, that's confirmed. QNH is 1034, and we are now fully ready for
So not sure if we need to go right on Delta here, so just bring it to a bit of a stop here.
Average 917, feedback correct. Pushback is approved, facing Foxtrot. Pushback is approved, facing Foxtrot, average cargo 917.
Ground, good evening, Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Just vacated runway 31 on Delta.
Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra, Stephanie ground, good evening sir. Taxi to stand 11 via Delta Alpha.
Stand 11 via Delta Alpha Alpaca 5 Tango Sierra. Excellent, so that's going to be straight ahead first right onto Alpha, and then we're going to come into the apron via Alpha for stand 11 just on the end of the terminal. Excellent. Well, that was a lovely little flight from A to B. Nice to be back online. Well done to ATC, well done to Captain Monster, got my names all modelled up there, he's quite a young guy, did a great job managing all that traffic there. Yeah, this is just stock scenery. This white you see is the ortho photo. It doesn't look that great, but yeah, unfortunately Bratislava's not best served in the scenery section. Hopefully someone will have a nice airport for us in the not too distant future. Oh yeah, I should only do that on stand. I'm basically doing all of Jim's job because he's lazy. Flight director's come off. There we are. Yeah, I got a bit low on speed on that approach there. I wasn't sure what the target thrust was. I mean, it was around, well, it should have been around 57, but I think I set that. The speed came off quite quickly, which took me by surprise. I was like, okay, where's the speed gone? Right, here's Alpha. But yeah, I checked and we're right on VREF. We call it snow, yeah. That's what I thought we'd do when I saw it earlier. I think someone said in chat, when you're using ortho, make sure you use the arc source, not Bing, because it has clouds. Oh, maybe stand 11 is taken, I'm not sure. Well, if it is, we'll just go left of this Alpaca. Are we doing a return? Not today, Mikolai or Mikolaj, I think. Yeah, just not today. Wednesday, got to play Xbox. But I will be hopefully streaming on Friday. And that will again only be one sector, but I think it'll be a flight you'll all enjoy. Ah, it's all. Oh yeah, look, I think stand 11 is free still.
Taxi to stand 14 via Delta Alpha. Taxi stand 14 via Delta Alpha Airline.
I'll take the next right here at stand 11.
71, ready for taxi. Oh, it's only 7, 8.
Oh, missing the marshallet, unfortunately.
Holding point, runway.
Thanks, Steve and Paul. I see you guys are busy cleaning out the rubbish. Oh my goodness me. What a evening for VATSIM and chat. My days. Right, anyway, there we are, all parked. 2 blues and 1 red. And all looking good. Sweet.
The aircraft behind us, sorry to confirm which aircraft.
ZIBO signs off, do a P8. Tell the cabin crew to disarm the sliders and open the doors. And yeah, another safe, successful Alpaca Airways flight. There we are. See the engine spooling down. Sweet. Thanks again, Jordan, for making this excellent Alpaca Airways livery. Really, really nice. Very, very good. Yeah, chat mods will be needing a strong one after this one. Yeah, a massive thanks to you guys. Really, it's keeps me concentrating on the stream and stuff. Thanks a lot, BS. That's very kind, Pete. Thank you.
Thanks again, Captain, for another evening's entertainment.
That's very, very kind, Pete. Thank you again for another generous donation. Yes, all pretty much to plan, I think. So pretty happy with the flight. The flight itself was great, but yeah, a few issues at the start. But it's what can we do? Icefire, I hope you're doing well. Best livery to date, in my opinion. There's some of. I'm going to jump between them here. We've been flying Jordan's amazing Boeing livery here, but I really like Jamlin's Alpaca Airways one as well. I still have your one Icefire, which I used in my last tutorial, which I made for the high on glide slope approach, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I like to jump between the two. Very nice. Jim says, can you fly me to Antarctica? Long way to go. to get there. Joe Padfield, this is alpaca stands. Yeah, alpacas galore. Although Lufthansa's merged into an alpaca there, but yes, there were a few guys. There were loads at the start here joining in on the flight, which is really cool. Very nice. But yeah, this is just stock gateway scenery, guys. Didn't install anything, but you can see this zoom level. Lovely cloud, unfortunately, on the photo scenery. But yeah, it looks okay from a higher height. Awesome. Let's have a little read of the comments here on approach there. As he said, he's feeling a minus 25 in my bones today, boss. It was good. I mean, we checked, and I've said this so many times before, I'll say it again.
50, 40,
when you just hold
30,
your attitude...
20, 10.
The aircraft likes to settle down in real life. It doesn't want to float here. Thanks, Mariana.
Takeaway is coming, Mr. Man's Tears of Joy hamburger.
Hamburger? Win. Oh, that's really made my evening, actually. I was just beginning to think what was for supper. Wednesday we do have a little cheeky takeaway, so that's awesome. Thank you very, very much for your donation, Mariana. That's very, very kind. Superb, right. Oh, well, chat is going berserk. Well, thank you very much to everyone that's taking part in today's live stream. It's been very, very interesting. A little bit of a word on what happened at the start. Please accept my apology. It's completely outside my control with what we heard. There's clearly a lot of people out and about at this time that have nothing better else to do than to cause problems. So I'd like to say a massive thank you here just to the moderators for keeping it all here tidy, whoever you are and whatever you're doing. Really get yourself a hard look in the mirror and see what you're doing. It's really just pointless. But this has just happened. What can you do? And I'm not the only one that's subject to this. Every live streamer gets it as well, but it seems to be they're really out to play this evening. But what can we do? Thank you very much, Philip Messenger, for the €5 coming in. I'll wait for it to ping up. Can be a bit slow. Matt Osborne said replay. Yeah, it's coming in ASAP
40,
as soon as we. I'll just say a massive thanks to Philip
20,
here for the €5.
10.
James Bugs loves a cheeky takeaway. Absolutely. Craig Scott.
Hi Captain, been a while, glad to enjoy your stream again and thanks for the helpful and kind answer on Discord. See you online soon.
You're most welcome, Philip. As I always say to the members, if you have any questions, always feel free to DM me on Discord or put it in the relevant chat. There's loads of other people around in Discord as well to help you. I've got several other real world pilots as well, and anything like that can be easily answered. But very, very good. Sweet. So yeah, we'll call it a day here. I'll turn down the music. There we are. Best log off of VATSIM, and we'll disconnect there. Sweet, and we'll cue the funky music. There we are. There we go. Perfect. Right, let's actually have a look at this from a bit more of a educational perspective. Yeah, so I disconnected, I think, about this point. The speed just started coming back, and I was actually recovering a bit from my speed, I think. But it's all a bit broken on the replay. Let me just turn this down. I can't even hear myself think. It's so loud. There we are. Let's put ourselves on the threshold. Sweet. I love that noise so much. So yeah, the check it close is really nice. Checked at the right height, maybe a little bit low, and then just held the altitude. Oh look, I was barely a third of a foot off the runway. Now, as I've just mentioned to Adzi there, in real life, you check, you close, and the aircraft really, it settles down quite nicely. It's like it has a little bit of exaggerated lift and ground effects, but it looks very nice in the sim. Yeah, oh, another thing as well, these aiming point markers are completely wrong. They're definitely not at 300 metres. That should be around here. So I think it's just because of the default scenery. But yeah, they're only like 120 odd metres from the threshold. Now we do a replay like this. Yeah, I think the runway markings are slightly wrong. Well, I'll use it as an excuse anyway. Oh, look at that. Could have been a bit smoother if I was just an inch lower, a few inches lower. Very good. I noticed they explained that markers are usually wrong in default scenarios. Yeah, that makes sense, Hugo. That aiming point marker was way too early. Awesome stuff then, guys. Well, that's the end of another Flight Data Sim live stream. I hope you found that thoroughly enjoyable. As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, sorry about the start there. Obviously, some idiots just got nothing better to do to join on VATSIM and do that. That's fine. Like I said, if it happens, it happens. Got no control over it, but yeah, just make yourself look like an absolute idiot. I mean, whoever wants to make themselves do that, I mean, wow, I've never in my entire life ever dreamt to do that to anything. But there you go. What can you do? Life's full of idiots, and no doubt we'll probably come across another in the future. I hope not, but thank you very much to everyone whilst I dealt with that at least. And yeah, I guess a few of the kids are around to play this evening. Anyway, brushing that to a side, I hope you all found that very enjoyable. Big thanks to the moderators today, who have been very busy. To all the members as well, thank you very much for the continued support as ever. And to all the regular subscribers, thank you very much for watching. And to everyone that donated, it's very kind. Guys, I hope to next see you on Friday for a little bit of a Mach 2 experience, if all goes to plan. But I'll keep you posted as usual in the social media pages. Guys, stay safe, and I'll see you all again very soon. Good night.